Glitchy is our Glitchy will be here soon. He's the one that plays Frederick for those who are normally here. He seems to be in the chat, so he is hanging out. Low blow, not 20. But he plays our Frederick. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of get through our recap and get started. And he will be here very shortly. So, last time, you guys took some time to basically make sure everything is good to go before you get on the flying ship, the Endless Horizon. You guys had chosen to sail by sky to get to the Black Hand, or at least the continent that they sit on. As you are all kind of preparing for this, I believe Leaf went and read some books to kind of learn the ins and outs of such a ship. Some of you went and learned a little bit more about certain deities and creations of the world and other things like that. As your last night almost comes to a close, you all kind of decide that that would be a great time to investigate the Crystal of Crexius. Upon investigating it further, you find that it's no longer crystallized like it once was. Rather, this time, it's almost beating like a heart, pulsing back and forth. There's even like a short tube or a valve that was kind of formed on itself. Some of you had casted some very key and important spells to learn more about this legendary artifact that you've come across. Some of this was that you had learned a little bit more about Crexius himself, but you also learned that this object can be almost infused into a person. This object can, if the user allows it to, basically allow it to infuse into his or her own body, and it gives them, from what you're able to discover, a lot of great power. However, you're not exactly sure what types of powers those would be. You feel that it's possible that it could draw some evils maybe out of that person, should you accept it. None of you seem to be super interested in doing that, but there was this moment of let's destroy this thing, and there was a little bit of talk of this before there was a moment where several of you kind of lost your focus for a moment, and it seemed as if this now item, this artifact, was calling out to a couple of you. And Leaf had a hard time resisting these calls, as one time it calls out to her, a second time it mentions her name, and she was unable to control her body to where she was kind of going towards it. She snapped out of it. However, Leaf was not done. She takes a dagger, is able to swiftly dodge swiftly dodge Ran and also Corin, and stab the artifact not once but several times before Ran was able to get it, put it back in the bag of holding, and leave it. Corin was also one that felt the call of this thing, but only for just a few moments before snapping out of it himself. You all took a moment to just breathe, to settle your disputes, and then go to sleep. Ran decided to stay up all night long watching it, just watching his bag of holding, just staying awake to make sure nothing would happen. And in doing so, you are tired. You did suffer one level of exhaustion, but you did benefit from a long rest. as everybody else has. Everybody should have max health and everything. You all wake up, and that's where we're going to start our journey today. You know, today is the day where you need to go and set sail. I need to move some of my stuff here. Some of these names are going to be a little messed up for now until Glitchy gets here, but we'll run with it. Today's the day that you set sail to the skies to travel over past the Black Hands Castle and onto new territory.
Were we given a specific time that we needed to be there, or just that we needed to be there?
I believe it's just sometime in the morning. I don't recall a very super specific time. I believe it was just earlier in the morning, if possible, so we can leave, or so they can leave as soon as possible and start the journey.
Yeah, I think they said like in the morning sometime.
Yeah.
I remember that vaguely.
You remember you're tasked to go and meet Edison Newman. He's the captain of the ship, and he's the one that's going to be kind of leading you. So, you all wake up, and I would say you all kind of are able to, any other prior journeys, you would be able to meet up in basically the lobby of this inn that you're currently in. The Dragon's Lair.
You look like shit, Ran.
Good morning to you too.
Did you not sleep?
Are we all together downstairs?
I would say so, yeah.
What's Leaf up to?
What are you up to, Leaf?
She's just kind of fallen in. Kind of being... She doesn't look any different, she's just quieter.
I think Rand would kind of be the same. Just kind of is keeping to himself this morning. You will notice interesting, the bag, which is typically on his back, is now reversed, and he has it like a carrying sack with the straps around the back, and then yeah. And he's also for the most part kind of keeping it cradled in one arm. What time do we leave?
I say the sooner the better. Is everybody here?
So I will say Cal's at the table. Bass is not in the room at the moment.
Yeah, I think we need to wait for Bass. If there's a enchanter on the way, I might want to stop by there real fast.
Okay.
But only if it's on the way.
Does anybody
to tag along.
know room Bass is in?
You guys will just hear some loud metal clanking bootsteps, which you can probably guess is Bass because you've heard him walk around before. He just always has his arm around. And you'll hear him come down the stairs, completely oblivious to everyone's like mood at the moment. Just like hops into the table next to everyone. Good morning, y'all. How you doing?
I think we're actually about to head out if you're ready to go.
I'm ready to skip, hop, and jump.
Okay. Cal, are you coming with us? At least until the ship?
I would like to see you off, yes.
Thank you.
It's the switch up for me.
Hey, Frederick, you ready to go?
Kind of notice he's messing around with some of his weapons. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
We're heading out.
Sure. And he kind of loads his equipment, makes sure everything is in check. You can see he's got some packs and things on, and getting his pouches ready, and he kind of just shrugs his shoulders. Let's do this. And he joins you.
All right, let's head out.
All right,
Do we
you head
need
out.
Do we need it? Did we get directions, or do we need to ask where the shipyard is, or?
You've got a pretty good idea. The shipyard itself is quite large, and you can actually see the endless horizon from where the inn currently is, as it just kind of rests up on this kind of dock that has been made to support it. Even here you can see her mighty mast, and you see several people loading, like from a distance. It's small, but you can see there's a lot of people loading things and moving, and there's a lot of movement up there.
Let's be on our way.
You make your way there, keeping an eye out for an enchanter. The best enchanter that you've known of so far was the 2 artificers that were kind of goofy. Whether or not you trust to go back to them is up to you. Other than that, you'd have to spend some time looking for an enchanter. Another
That was
one.
only Leaf, right? Who went there?
I believe so. I think she mentioned it, like who
Yeah,
they
she
were.
mentioned them.
But
Okay. Is that on the way, or?
it would be it would be a little bit out of the way, but maybe 5-10 minutes out of the way.
Do you all mind? I just want to pop in and ask a question real quick.
So we know that Leaf has been writing a lot of letters. Is her pencil still got lead in it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What is this
that
lead?
pencil seems legit.
Oh, the never-ending pencil. I forgot about that.
The never-ending
Ah.
pencil.
Yeah.
That is nice.
It looks exactly like a normal pencil, except the lead never runs out. So, there's that. You make your way, or is that where you'd like to go?
Yes, if it's okay with everybody else.
Okay. You take a few moments to head back to the Artificer's Mine, this small shop that Leaf had once approached, looking for maybe some useful items. As you approach, you can already kind of hear the bantering of 2 gnomes that seem to be working on some kind of project. They don't even notice your approach. You can just kind of hear them speaking more about different things that sound like they should be exploding, but they're not. You hear one of them, "I really thought that was gonna work this time. I don't understand." And the other guy is like, "Yeah, maybe just throw it at the wall and see what happens." And he kind of holds it. There's just like this very round-shaped object that he's kind of holding. He's got his arm out, and he's kind of using it as a way to aim. Doesn't notice y'all approach at all. Throws it. Bounces off the wall, kind of hits the floor. Yeah, I don't know. You need to work on that one a little bit more.
Good morning.
Both of them meet your eyesight at about the same time. Oh, hello!
Curious if you if a simple enchantment might be able to be procured.
What do you need?
Do you by chance have any way of making a pair of handcuffs that cut off a wizard's or a magic user's power?
That's complex.
Cuts off their just ability to cast. Maybe doing some kind of interruption or blocking so they cannot finish the casting, or
I've heard of something like that, but I don't have anything here. But I bet we could find something. This might take us a little while.
how much do you think it would be?
Maybe like... They both kind of look at each other, and you can see they're mouthing numbers to each other, trying to figure out a number that they agree on. So you kind of see them as the... Okay. And they kind of look back at you. 100 gold.
I'll give you 60 right now. And if you can, how about we call it 60? I'll pay you now, and it doesn't have to be done for the next week and a half or so, or next week. It would just need to go on. It would just need to go on the next airship.
Oh, the next airship. Okay, yeah,
Through the King's men. Through the King.
yeah, we could probably make that work, provided we could find, necessary materials and, do it the right way.
What was your name again?
The one next to him that's talking. My name's Zanben. The other one's like, he wasn't talking to you, you moron. My name's Biltix.
Samban Biltix. I can reach out to you in about a week's or so time. I'm a wizard, and I can reach out to you with my magic, and I can just find out if it's done. But I'm happy to pay you up front.
Okay, well, sure. We'll take the 60 for now, and then interest and such. Maybe another 60 later.
But the handcuffs were only 100 total.
Wow, you're making.
I'm
me
saying,
wait.
how about I tell you I pay you 60 now, and there's no rush. Surely somebody of y'all's talents could make something within a week and a half's time.
I can make something right now if you want. I don't know if you would like it.
Then that's why you have the week and a half.
Okay.
At some point in this conversation, Leaf is gonna kind of step up next to Corin. These handcuffs don't need to explode.
Oh yes, no, please no exploding. Just what I asked. I don't need it. I don't need any additions.
You see both of them kind of notice you, and one of them's like, you were here just like the other day. Okay, yeah,
Yep.
I don't think they'll explode. We'll try not to make them go boom.
And then can I just give him like some vague details about how to get the package there and just have it sent under the Unbroken? So basically, to where it can, if they get it done in time, they can send it with the next ship that's heading out to Blackstone, or the area of Blackstone where we're supposed to be getting reinforcements from.
Yeah. You hand him some of these details, and he's kind of like looking at you
But
odd.
like vague. Like I don't want to give out too many crucial details.
Yeah. You hand them to him. He gives you some weird looks, and he's like, yeah, okay, sure, but we are gonna get paid the rest of our money. Right.
Does somebody have 40 gold on them?
I can give you 40 gold.
I have 94 technically. I just didn't want to spend every single thing in case we need something. I was just gonna only try to get rid of 60.
I got you.
Okay, I'll pay 60 if you'll pay 40.
Okay.
Thank you.
They watch you both.
Oh, Rand,
exchange.
where's the party fund I thought you had? Aren't you keeping a track of a party fund? Or is there no party fund? Was that just a... That's out of
Rand
character.
just kind of gives you a glare.
That's out of character.
Rand just kind of gives you a glare. We'll
Out of
talk about
character
it.
gives you a glare.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm used to that out of character too. Don't worry.
And so they they take the gold. They're like,
So 100 gold, boom, there.
how about 120?
No, you
Is that on
said
the
we already
table?
agreed on 100.
110. Is that on the table?
It's 80.
And
What's on the
okay,
table
okay,
is
fine,
the 100 gold that you asked for.
Yeah.
90?
Yeah. No. Hey, 100's fine. Yeah. We run a business, so
Delivered to the Unbroken, please.
got it. He kind of goes and writes down a little bit of some kind of details, and as you say, right to the Unbroken, you can see he writes that part down too. Then looks at the rest of you all. Okay, we'll do our best, and we
Thank
won't make it go boom.
Thank you.
Are there any other items? Do they have any items for sale? Like, is there any inventory in this shop, or is it just them in a workspace?
It's a lot of them in a workspace and junk. As you look around, there's stuff that it looks like normal stuff, and for the most part, it is. And some of it's just normal things. You could probably find a couple potions and things here, but other than that, a lot of it, when you take a look at it, you might grab like a nearby dagger, and you're like, I don't feel anything special about this. It doesn't look any different. A lot of it seems to be junk. But they try to sell you. As you kind of glance around, one of them tends to notice, and he kind of keeps looking at you, and he's like, "This," and he holds up a boomerang, which he's like, "This thing. Every time I throw it, it magically returns." Do you
Are
want
you
to?
sure
Do you want to see?
that's Matt? No, I would love a demonstration.
Perfect.
Please.
Follow me. And he takes you into the back of the shop where it connects to an outside area. And he says, "Watch." And he
Wait,
throws it.
Real quick, is it just me and him out there? Did anybody else follow?
Anybody else?
Leaf would have followed.
Okay. So Lee follows you, and you go, and he holds it up, and he's like, "Okay, watch this," and he throws it. And as you watch as it does exactly what a boomerang should do, it comes right back. However, he misses the catch, and it hits the ground and kind of slides. And he's like, "We're still working on that, but you did see it. It came back."
Is this a wooden boomerang?
It seems like it's been painted to look
Okay.
like a.
I didn't know this would be a Mad Max 2. For it, Enter the Thunderdome. There's a scene where it's a metal boomerang and kid throws it and this guy tries to catch it and it slices off his fingers.
Oh, that's dope.
Anyways, no.
Yeah, no, it's painted to look cooler than what it really is.
Yeah. That is very, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't think that's quite up my alley. I do want to inquire, and I'll look around and just seeing it's only Leaf. By chance, do you do any enchantments for bags of holding?
I don't like to mess with those because people get upset when you destroy their stuff. If it destroys, because everybody knows bags of holding. You destroy it, everything goes away, kind of like a boom boom, but internally.
Wait,
Boom, boom.
if you destroy a bag of holding, everything goes away. Boom boom.
Kind of, yeah, something like that. I don't like to mess with people's stuff. I just like to give them new stuff.
I would like a new bag of holding.
Okay, I can make a new one, I think.
You think?
Yes.
You think?
Uh-huh.
Will it explode?
Yeah.
The bag of exploding.
The bag of holding explosion.
So 5 gold?
No.
Okay. 7 gold.
7? That's ridiculous.
Lee, expensive? Yes.
No. Real offers, please.
I'm the only one making offers here. This is, an exchange of prices. I have yet to hear. I've only heard insults so far.
Well, how about I just work on it first? And then after time and labor and magic and things, then I'll tell you a price. Ha! How's that sound? You come back in a few days. I will tell you.
Okay, sounds. You know what? You do that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, all right.
You need anything else? I have a sword of infinite sharpness.
What degree of infinite are we talking here?
Infinite.
What magnitude?
I mean, it's always sharp and never dulls. Powerful magic goes into that.
Powerful, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
Let me consult with my shop owner friend, and he kind of.
You're not the. Wait, are you not the owner?
I mean, yeah, I'm the owner, but I
mean, you can't call the shots.
No, I called the shots.
That's not what this sounds like here at all.
Okay, well, maybe you don't understand how business works.
Yes, I asked for a price. You have yet to name me prices on any items that I've asked for. I think
that's right.
You keep using those words, and I don't know if you understand what they actually mean.
Okay, well, how about this? Let me go talk to Zanbin, and then I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah,
you do what you need to do.
We're kind of a team.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's exactly what I say. Okay.
Do you really?
Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye.
He runs past you. You can tell he's like flustered. And
Rand's cranky.
you see he starts talking to his friend. The rest of you that might be standing nearby, the other guys just kind of looking at both of you, not really talking as much. And you immediately see Biltix, who comes by, and he's like, hey. So, infinite sharpness sword. How much? And they're trying to whisper. They don't always whisper very quietly. And he's like, 20. And he's like, no. More than that. It's way more than that. And they're start to discuss prices before he nails down what sounds like a price. And he rushes back over to you and says, Sword of Infinite. What? Kind of looking at you.
Oh.
If you
While
said something,
he's
you cut out.
gone,
I'm sorry.
though,
Yeah, why he's
okay.
gone?
while he's gone, Leaf is gonna like grab Rand's arm and just be like, "Are you okay?"
Oh, sweet summer child. It. I will be fine. I'm trying to make amends. I don't really want the Sword of Infinite Sharpness. It's fine. The guy couldn't give me a price on anything. I'm just trying to. Yeah.
You just seem not yourself.
I would be lying if I said last night was not a lot. And I didn't really sleep. And now we're going off on what might be just a really bad thing. And apparently I'm also carrying the child of an elder god in my chest here. And he pats the bag. Still working on processing it all.
150
You know you
gold.
don't-
How does that sound? He comes back in the middle of your conversation.
150.
All right, fine. 200.
Wait, what?
Yep, that's what I said.
200 gold?
Yeah.
200 gold. Okay. Did you get a price on the bag?
What bag?
The bag that we were just discussing.
Oh, you're still interested in that? Yeah. Like I said,
thought you were.
I mean, that's gonna take a while. Yeah, that's gonna take a few
It'll take a while?
days.
Okay. All right. Will you hold the sword for me?
Oh yeah.
We're talking 250 gold, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold the sword for me. When I come back for the bag, let's see if we can work out some kind of combo deal here. Does that sound good?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Put things together. Maybe it'll be more expensive. I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Okay. All right. Is there anything you guys specifically specialize in that is not explosions?
No.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to check. Thank you.
Yeah. No. Hey, come back anytime.
Okay. All right.
We're open all the time. So. Except when we're not. But yeah.
I can totally understand. As they're walking back in, Rand will give Leaf 40 gold. And just keep walking through the doors.
Okay.
As he's handing it to her, she's just gonna like take it and look at him and just, "You're not alone in this."
We're in this together, but I may be a useless one. Let's see where this goes right now. Okay. I'll walk back in and I'll be like, okay, children, are we done with this shopping excursion? Now look, I'm just staring daggers at Corin. Did we find everything we need?
I mean, we can always go and keep exploring. We have the whole day, don't we?
We don't have the whole day.
I
We're supposed to be there this
It's called
morning.
sarcasm. My brother's an asshole. Come on, let's go.
Lead the way, sir.
Looks outside, tries to locate where the masts of the ships are, and starts walking out that way.
You do. You see, it
I'll be in
seems
contact.
seems like they're performing some sort of test run as you walk outside. There is this like loud humming, and you hear some people shouting, and it actually kind of lifts a little bit and then kind of floats back down. You see these very large blue crystals on the back of the ship that glow, that seem to be maybe its power source, and it just kind of lifts up and kind of hovers for maybe a minute or so as you are walking, and then it kind of docks itself back down. Um, in the distance, you can see people giving thumbs ups. You can kind of hear what sounds like cheering, things like that. Seems like it's a big deal. As you approach, you have to go through into the inner city, and as you enter, the guards they kind of know who you are, and they just kind of give you a nod as you walk through.
Can while we're walking and everything can I do a perception check just to kind of keep an eye out to see if we've picked up some hangers-ons to see if anybody's kind of keeping pace with us?
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh.
Yeah, 20. So
Nice.
you kind of keep an eye out. You make sure nobody's following you, and it doesn't seem like anybody is. Keep your eyes kind of on the shipyard, and you're doing a good job at examining people's faces as they walk by. Nobody seems familiar, really. You don't seem like you're being followed. There's no familiar faces at that. And as you guys continue to walk, you do make your way to this large wooden and stone building. And outside, you see a guy with what looks like some kind of clipboard, and he's talking to a couple of other guys. It seems like they're just kind of having a normal conversation. Just judging by his posture, he seems like he is somewhat of importance. Maybe he's the captain. Maybe he's just a noble. But he's dressed in a interesting attire. He's got this hat on. It's kind of like a cowboy hat with a feather that is stuck in through it and sticking wide out. He's got a short sleeve shirt. Well, he's got a long sleeve, but it's bunched up to look like a short sleeve. And some almost cargo-like pants as he's talking to these guys. Interesting look for a lot of the people in the inner city at that. And as you guys approach further, he does notice you all, and he kind of talks to the two, and kind of looks like he's ushering them away or ending a conversation with them as he kind of looks at you and waves. And then kind of ushers you to come to him.
All right, let's go.
Go that way.
Okay. You go that way, and as you approach, you see this guy flash a big smile as he looks at you. And he says, "Ah, you've finally made it." He says, "My name is Edison Newman. I'm supposed to be the captain for this ship." He says, "Wasn't sure if you guys were actually coming or not." You're the Unbroken, right? I got the right guys, right?
Are we late? We were under the impression that we just needed to be here, and we got here as early as we could.
Oh, well, I figured you guys would be excited to get in the ship and be here much earlier. But yeah, that's just me. It's fine. I'm excited.
We had some final preparations to do. I apologize for our lackadaisical nature. We were trying to finish up being prepared for this trip.
Huh. Well, I'm glad you guys are prepared. He's like, this is going to be awesome. I don't know if you've ever been in a sky ship, but it is such a different atmosphere being up in the sky. It's beautiful. It really is.
How high are we going to get?
You know, pretty high, pretty high, several thousand feet up off the ground. So enough to where the Black Hand and that castle is not really going to notice us.
In your crew, how well do you know each of them? Are we sure we're not infiltrated?
Oh, well, the crew is mainly you. So welcome
Oh,
aboard. And then there is another, and she's going to be joining us. Her name is Verona Sonixia, pointy-eared fella. She's great.
Oh, great.
But
He's a racist.
you know, as he kind of examines all of you at that moment to make sure he wasn't too maybe rude of a compliment to make, or not compliment, but too rude of a just a statement to make, as he kind of almost examines all of you quickly, and he says, well, I'm going to show you the ropes and a few jobs that each of you are going to have, but listen, it's going to be a piece of cake. So
we're in your capable hands. Let us know what you need from us. Are there any defenses
oh yeah,
aboard? Okay.
yes, we have ballista in case anything flying comes at us, but I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
I mean,
Approximately how long will it take us to make the journey?
he kind of pulls out his clipboard and takes a look at it, scans it. You see he's using his fingers to scan. Well, yeah, maybe a week. It's a safe flight. I mean, we could get there a lot sooner, but kind of the safe route I've mapped out, just to make sure that it is definite that we aren't going to be spotted by any Black Hand or anything else that could be up in the skies.
Okay. Lead on. We're in your capable hands.
Oh, excuse me. Wait a minute.
Oh
You
yes.
telling me this ship can fly?
Oh yeah. It's powered by incredibly difficult and complex magic that has been stored into these 3 crystals on board, and that's what helps power the ship itself, along with some of its sails and stuff that kind of help it to just sail along the skies. It is really a wonder. We call it the endless horizon.
Wow. I guess I'll have to see it when it starts.
Oh yeah, she's
I've
a
never
beauty.
heard of a flying ship before.
Well, there's not very many of them. In fact, this is one of few that Isseron is currently working on. So we don't expect anybody else to have something of this kind of technology. So I think this is what's going to help us get the jump on these guys at the Black Hand.
Oh yeah, a lot of jumps to get up here if it's in the sky.
That's right. Yeah. And he kind of takes a moment to examine you a little bit longer before shifting his eyes to somebody else. Well, are we ready to go up? And
I say
Climb
let's
aboard?
go. Corn has his hood up, and as Corn takes off his hood, he's gonna use disguise self, so he has elf ears when he pulls his hood off.
okay.
Let's be off.
He turns pretty quickly before you even. There's a lot of excitement that seems to be in this guy about getting in this ship. And so he quickly
Is-
turns and doesn't notice.
Is Cal still with us?
Yeah, Cal's still here with you guys. At
We
this
haven't said
point.
yeah. We haven't.
He's basically
we haven't
see
said
you
our
guys
goodbyes
off.
yet.
Before Leaf gets on the ship, she's just gonna go up and give him like a massive hug and just, please don't forget to use the dagger.
You see it strapped to his leg. Don't worry, I have it right here. And just
And
like
as
I
she
have the
walks-
dagger with me, I'll be with all of you just as closely.
As she like lets go and walks away, she's just gonna, I'll see you soon, friend.
Oh, not the music! Don't do that to me.
You start to climb.
I'm going to turn to Cal as well.
Yes, we're all gonna have to say our goodbyes.
Yeah. Ram
Go for it.
will put out his hand and offer it to Cal.
Yeah, Cal will shake.
Ran immediately pulls you into a huge a huge hug. Thank you for everything. We'll do everything we can over there. Hold down the fort until we get back.
I'll do everything I can here.
Man will kind of take him out of the hug and grab him by the shoulders, give him a shake, rub his head a little bit, and then.
Oh,
until
he's
next
still
time.
bald.
Yes.
Yep.
And we'll rub his head for good luck. And then turn around and start walking up the rampart for the ship.
Go. My turn. Go up to him. Also shake his hand. Are you good? Do you need it? Is your ring? Does it still have a sending spell? Do I need to give you one real quick before we head out?
That's a good question, actually. Let me look here.
I think you loaded it up.
I think you
Before
loaded up.
we-
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't remember if you had used. I didn't remember if you had used it since then. I know you used it once, but I didn't know you used it once I recharged it.
I don't think Leaf used it after after you recharged it.
Yeah, that's all I was curious.
She used it twice and then didn't use it again.
Okay, I just can't remember. I can't remember.
I think you
Perfect
recharged
timing.
it. Yep.
Okay, so I did do. I recharged
Yeah.
it 3 times.
I have it
Okay.
written in here. Yeah, I think you recharged it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep in contact with you. I'll let you know when we arrive, and yeah, we're just all just one sending away. So if something happens, don't be afraid to reach out. I know we wouldn't be able to come quick, but I'll just keep in touch with you since I have more. But please, don't be afraid of who you are. You're a good person. We desperately gonna miss you. And before Cal says anything, he just because he doesn't want to. Corn doesn't want to doesn't like showing attachment. Corn just kind of just taps on the shoulder again and just awkwardly walks off. We're saying goodbye to Cal.
About to go on the
Oh.
ship. Yep. Good
Uh,
timing.
where am I at the moment? What?
You're
what-
with us.
You're with us at the
We're at,
docks.
we're at the shipyard docks, about
You're-
to get on the flying
oh.
ship.
You and Bass are the
you
only,
also gave
only
us
ones
all
that haven't
50
said goodbye.
gold for some reason. I don't know what happened.
Shit.
That's what makes you.
What did I drink last night? Damn. All of a sudden, just I almost forgot my character's name for a second.
Frederick?
Sorry, I need to recollect myself. I'm
No, you're good. Take your time.
thinking of where I'm at the moment. So we're just
Close
at the dock saying goodbye.
Close your
to Cal.
eyes. You're in the shipyard. We just
Yeah,
met the
we're,
captain of the ship. We're actually its crew. We didn't know that. We have
Oh,
yes.
oh,
We are its crew, and there's one other person joining us that we
Hmm.
have not yet met, but we're about to get on the ship.
okay. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of sitting behind everybody. Has everybody gotten to say something to Cal, and it's just kind of me left? Or
Everyone but
It's
everyone
just
but
you
you
and
and
Bass
Bass.
okay. I think I was kind of standing back a little bit, because for Frederick, he knows you quite well, but not as much as everybody else. And for Frederick, he doesn't really feel like. I guess for him, he doesn't really feel like he has the right to really say much. But he kind of steps up and kind of looks at Cal and, it was interesting meeting all of you guys. It was fun though. So I hope we get to see you again. I know I didn't get to really fully kind of chat with you and share stories, but who knows, maybe we can meet up at a tavern again sometime if we make it out of this whole Black Hand deal.
I'm
So-
sure you'll have plenty of great stories to share when you get back. It's been good knowing you as well, Frederick.
Do good. And like I said, meditate a little bit. That might do something for you.
I will try it.
just kind of nod and reach my hand out, pat his shoulder, and kind of take a couple steps back.
No.
Would Bass like to say anything to Cal?
Yep. So for Bass, he's gonna walk up.
Been waiting
you'll-
for this.
Am I doing the swapping thing again? Like,
oh God, yes.
okay. All right, I'll
You
do
know
like
that's our favorite part.
Cal, and I'll do Baz. I know I don't know you that well, sir, so I'm not gonna make this long, but I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to do some good. You know, that's why I came down here. So thank you very much. And he'll, like really excitedly shake Cal's hand, just like for a good like awkward like 10 seconds, 'cause he doesn't know when to let go. And Cal will just kind of pat his shoulder. Thank you. I appreciate you helping us on such short notice. And Cal will lean in and whisper something to him. And Bass will nod, and then finally stop shaking his hand and just kind of give a salute, and then get on the ship.
Okay. As you all take your final moment with Kaltair, you all turn and begin to extend the tall, very large inside workings of this dockyard. It's a huge flight of stairs, essentially, and it takes a long time to climb up. Maybe only like 5 or 10 minutes, and for some of you, your legs are like dying trying to get up all of these stairs. Leaf in particular. But you finally get to the top, where Edison opens up a door that basically extends to a long stone and wood platform that is being held up by these columns that have been built in place to reach to the ground. And it opens up to like a big U, and within that U is the actual ship. And it is just docked there. There are these wooden you could say like bridges or whatnot that let you kind of walk into the ship itself. And you see that there are people loading crates and other things into the hull of the ship. Edison, as you approach, he starts to talk to you. This is her. Quite beautiful, isn't she? And she's really gonna get us going. And he kind of points to the two. Well, now you can see large crystals. So those are what I was telling you about. Those are the large magic power source for the ship. And there's another one at the front of the ship, which you can clearly see is kind of built into the front of the ship. And you can see it's like very faint pulsing of a blue color. He says, basically, when I get in the ship, I'll take the steering wheel and do a couple cool maneuvers, and that makes it turn on. It's really, really easy. And anyway, it's not hard to control this thing. And he kind of looks... These people are just going to keep loading up some resources for us to drop off once we get there. And once they're done with that, we'll be good to go. If you have any questions, come find me. Go ahead, take a look around. Go get on. Go see what it's like. Just don't lean over the edge unless you're scared of heights. It is kind of it's a long fall, so don't fall.
Well, one might be, I'm sure all of our questions is, what is our jobs while we're on the ship? You said we're the crew, correct?
Oh yeah. I'll teach some of you how to work on the sails, and some of you guys just need to clean some things and whatnot. It'll be pretty simple. I'll show you how to work the ballista as well in the event that we need to, but I'm not worried about that at all.
Okay.
Rand's just kind of running his hand along like the railings and stuff, and looking at the crystals and just taking it in.
You see that it is some very fine craftsmanship was made to build this ship. The wood is very well crafted. It looks like a brand new ship. Everything about it is clean and aesthetically beautiful. And You can see the ballista actually mounted on the ship itself. On the back of the ship, there seem to be 2 ballista, and then on the front, there's also 2 more. You can see these 2 masts that are extended up, and the sails are actually no, they're not down at the moment, but 2 large masts, and on the sides, as you get closer, are these will look like wings that will also benefit the ship in its flight. Large wings that you could see a assortment of ropes and things would probably control it. And yeah, as far as pretty much that's what you see on the outside. And there is a small stairway that goes down into the hull of the ship itself, and you can see that's where they're loading up what looks like crates and barrels and other types of stuff that are most likely resources for the trip.
Rand's just going to start to wander the ship and inspect all these different places, nooks and crannies. Not really. He's just kind of killing time more than anything.
Okay. Yeah, you continue to check things out.
Leaf is kind of like halfway following him, also looking for nooks and crannies, not necessarily just to pass the time.
Okay. Well, you do find lots of little places that you could hide if you wanted to. You go down into the hull of the ship to see that there are like beds and some sleeping spaces for everybody. Probably not the coziest, but it is a place to sleep. You do find barrels and different things that if Leaf had to jump in, she probably could. You find there is like an alcohol section for different types of ales and drinks and things like that. There's, it looks like some sort of, like they're bringing in a lot of weapons and things as well. So you see that there's crates full of weapons and things like that. Simple weapons at that, nothing too crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of places that someone like you could find and hide in, should you need to, Leaf.
Okay.
Is anybody else doing anything else?
I'll just take my time and explore as well.
Okay.
I would like to circle back around to the captain at some point in time.
Okay.
To ask a question or two.
Yeah, you circle around to him. You see he's telling some people where to place some things and asking some questions before he sees you approach and immediately prioritizes your approach.
Jerzane's having a spasm over there. Are you okay? You just started.
We're good. We're good.
Okay. Just wanted to check.
He's just dabbing on the captain.
Captain, I had a couple questions. Do you have a moment? Do we have time or?
Yeah. We're about ready to go, actually.
Oh, well, wonderful. That was one of my questions. Second question: is there a? I need a chest about yay big that can then be locked and secured by chains. Is that something that we have that's available, or is there something that we can empty out to use that would be able to do that?
Yeah. Somewhere in the hole, I'm sure you can find an empty chest.
Okay.
And some chains. Just take whatever you need. I don't ask questions. I just
Great.
yeah, go for it.
Awesome, will do. So Rand, hearing that, Rand's gonna go find a chest and chains and hopefully a lock to be able to secure all of it.
All right. And you do. You find they're all different kinds of chains and things, and you're able to do what you need to do.
Okay.
While you're doing that, it's actually at this point that I think who's still on the deck of the ship, like the top?
I don't know. I said I went exploring around, so you tell me where I'm at?
Yeah, I mean, you might be up there. Is Frederick probably hanging out up there too?
Yeah, I'd probably be on the deck.
Okay. It's at this moment that you would both kind of notice that there's another individual that hops on the ship. She seems fairly well equipped, and You could tell she is wearing kind of this, kind of has this hood on that the wind kind of blows it off, and immediately you can tell that this person is elvish, which she has kind of a uh, maybe like greener skin color, more V-shaped look to her face. Bit of a different elvish look, but elvish, elvish all the same. And she kind of approaches. She begins to kind of inspect the ship. She's also grabbing the railing and kind of touching it. And she's, as some of the people who are delivering crates and things, she's kind of telling them like, "Nice job, nice job." She's kind of walking by. She extends up the steps to go behind the wheel of the ship that you would use to control it. She just kind of puts her hands on it for a moment and just kind of looks out, and you can see she turns it just very slightly, and then she kind of turns it another way very slightly. Just a slight grin that both of you notice, and then she kind of stops and she walks up to the large crystals and just kind of places her hand on it and kind of just makes her way around the ship, really. She seems like she has some swords at her hips. She looks pretty decently equipped. And she's just kind of making her way around the ship. Doesn't really seem like she's maybe noticed you. Or if she has, she just hasn't cared to come and greet you.
If it hasn't been an hour yet, Corn has put his hood back up
Okay.
to hide his elf ears.
Okay.
So he doesn't even have to
hasn't.
deal with... Okay, cool. So he doesn't deal with that trouble. Yeah, I guess if she comes by nearby, since Corn's just kind of checking things out, if she comes near him, he'll just kind of look over at her and say, "I guess you're the last of our party we were waiting for."
She kind of does just happen to make her way over towards you. She says, "Oh yes, it's good to meet you, Verona Sonixia." And she kind of holds her hand out for a handshake.
Give her a good handshake. Corn.
It's good to meet you, Corin. I guess we're gonna be working together on this. What's your story? Why do you want to be on this ship?
We just have some business we need to attend to. By the way, that's Frederick over there.
I'm probably, on most ships they have like the one log that comes out the front of it, about like 10 feet. I'm probably like all the way at the end of it, just kind of balancing. Just.
She's like, he probably shouldn't be up there.
He's
Actually, sorry, real quick, I wanted to ask too, since I did kind of grow up being on ships after being found out at sea,
Yeah.
like, would you say I have some pretty decent knowledge? Obviously, this is an airship, so it's slightly different, but I have some decent knowledge on ships.
Yeah, you would. It seems very familiar to the ships that you've been on previously. It's just that this one flies, but the exterior and interiors and how things look are fairly similar.
Yeah, just balancing.
Yeah,
he's pretty acrobatic. I think he'll be okay.
Well,
Quickly does a backflip.
let's not lose anyone before we even take off.
Is he within 60 feet?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm keeping an eye on him. What brings you on this ship?
Well, I don't like the Black Hand any more than maybe you. They've caused a lot of pain to people I know, to the city of Iseron, and I pledged to fight back. So once I heard that they were making this airship, and I just thought it'd be really cool. I've never really been on airships before, and I went and applied, and they asked me some questions, and here I am.
I'm sure you're a very capable warrior if you were chosen for this. And
Sure
we do
hope so.
appreciate it. Enemy of the Black Hand's a friend of ours.
Well, I appreciate that, and I say the same. I'm with you.
I think the rest of everybody else, I think, is just around, so I'm sure you'll meet them at some point. But Yeah, it looks like you're pretty. I'm sure you're pretty handy with those swords. Are you I'm guessing a swordsman, a fighter, or?
Yeah, I'm good with swords. I practiced using them growing up. My father, he helped with the city of Esseron a lot. He was in their guard and taught me a lot of things. So
Okay, well, hopefully we won't have to use them so soon. Hopefully this is a kind of quiet beginning of the trip.
and from what I hear, you should be pretty safe. But
I
anyway.
think we're about to. Yes, I think we're about to get off. So how about I'll go get everybody else. I'm sure. Captain, do you need us up here before as we take off? Do you need us to start work?
Kind of looks over at you, maybe finishing up a few things. Sure. Let's just get everybody up here. It should be ready to go anytime now.
All right. I guess let me make my way and try to find Frederick. Can you go help me find everybody? I'll go down. I'll go down. I'll go down to the very bottom if you want to just go a floor above me.
Yeah, sure. Just give me 1 second, and I'm like starting to slowly walk off the hole.
You see an elven figure that is just kind of standing there watching you. A little puzzled, but as you make eye contact, she kind of looks away, trying not to be seen that you were staring. That she was staring at you because of you standing on the at the end of the pole of the ship, I guess, the front of the ship.
Oh, I thought it was because of my tiefling charm. If she's still side-eyeing me or something, I do a little bow, and then I just jump off of the pole and start heading down to look for others.
She kind of shouts to you, "You're very confident."
Pretty nimble, used to this kind of stuff. Been on a ship plenty of times.
Oh,
So, yeah.
good.
I'm Frederick, by the way. Nice to meet you. I'm pretty sure Corin told you that. I'm gonna go look for some people. Bye. And I just start walking.
Okay. You find your group, and it's as you are finding, you kind of hear the hum of what sound like almost like engines turn on, and you just hear this hum that begins to kind of cycle a few times before it just sounds like it starts. As you make your way back up to the top deck, you see that these crystals are now glowing a consistent blue color, that they shine very bright. And you can see Edison, yes! It's ready to go!
Oh God.
As he kind of looks amongst you all at this point.
How many flights has this ship done?
A few. It's good to go.
Never flown before. This is the first time it's turned on.
Why is that? Why do you have that bottle of champagne? Why are you breaking it over the ship?
Don't worry about that. You watch as it seems like everybody else is clearing. Verona comes up and kind of joins you all. And she kind of waits for some orders. And as he stands there, okay, who thinks they knows how to drive this ship?
Isn't that your job?
Oh yeah, but everybody should know just in case something happens to me.
I just kind of peek my head out from behind Corin. Oh, I've been on a ship plenty of times, actually.
Come here.
Are we the same height? How did you hide behind me?
Like I said, nimble. When I start walking forward.
He begins to go through the process of. So see, this is the steering. This is it's basically you turn it right, the ship will turn its sails to go right. You turn it left, the ship's sails will go left.
I mean, I'd imagine it's the same thing as a normal ship, just in the air, not the water.
Perfect.
Right?
So you do
Just
know what
similar?
you're doing. All right. Well, then help your friends learn how to do the sails, and he does kind of look at the rest of you. There's something about this ship that maybe none of you have worked on before, is that there are sails on the sides of the ship, as he kind of points both fingers on the sides of the ship. There are ropes that are tied off, and when I say certain points of our trip, we'll need to tighten those up, loosen them, let them fly, and this will be an easy journey. He looks at all of you. Are we ready to fly?
Isn't it like
Yes.
I
Aye,
something?
aye,
something?
Captain.
That's the thing.
And he kind of looks at you all. We'll work on it. And he takes the steering wheel. You see he pulls it a little bit, and that shifts forward. And as he does, you begin to feel the weight of the ship just kind of almost like, yeah, it moves a little bit. It's like a little lopsided for a second, and then he kind of straightens it out. He's like, oh, all right, let's fly. And he pushes the steering wheel kind of inward, and as it does, it begins to lift up some into the air. You hear the humming of the magic crystals. He kind of shouts at you all. Okay, hit the sails. At which point, Frederick, you would know exactly what to do. Verona
Totally.
kind of looks at the rest of you. It's super easy. You just grab this rope, and she kind of goes through the process of teaching you how to lower the sails, raise them, things like that.
Can I do an insight check on the captain? I want to know if he's actually flown this thing before, or if he's just been training and this is his first time.
Yeah, go for it.
Also, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Would Leaf actually know what's happening with the research that she did on the skyships, or does she have no idea how it actually works? She just knows like the general mechanics.
You have a pretty solid idea of how it works. Everything so far seems to be running from what you learned about, what you read about. The crystals are different for sure, but other than that, it seems like everything's working the way it's supposed to.
She is absolutely going to pretend she has no idea what's happening.
Okay. As you all kind of begin to kind of scatter and grab some of the ropes and open up some of the sails, he shouts over all of you. Frederick, it seems like he knows what he's doing. He's shouting out commands. He's telling everybody what to do, and he says it with confidence. So you guys raise from the dock. You see several people on the dock who are clapping and cheering. You're the first expedition to fly over to the Black Hand in this way, to this other short continent or small continent, not very far away.
You guys would probably see Cal at the docks, like he'd be waving.
Off in the distance, you do all find Cal, who's waving, as well as several other people that you don't know who they are. You do see a couple others that do catch your eye. Some of them being people that you've worked with in the past. Some of these people, like leaning kind of over the edge of a railing. You guys can see the familiar Seraphina, who is watching as you all fly away. She's just kind of hands over the railing, leaning, not really waving.
Lightning bolt.
Oh no, not again.
One for the road.
Just a few people down from her, you actually see Vinny, the guy who you did the monster hunting stuff with, who's there, and he's waving you off as well. Several guardsmen and many others who are waving you off, realizing that this is an important expedition. As you raise high enough, you are commanded to lower the sails, and as you do so, the sails lower, and you immediately feel the ship propel forward into the sky, and it's off you fly.
I will say Bass, like, at first would be kind of standing like in the middle of the ship, just kind of like looking around, and like once it started like lifting and taking off, Bass would like drop to the ground and like wrap his arms around the mast.
Oh no, he's afraid of heights.
From his reaction, you can probably tell he's never been on a ship before. of any kind.
Sorry, excuse me. From watching these people that were watching us take off, was the purpose of our expedition or this ship taking off kind of publicized? Because from the context of things that we're hearing, it sounds like this people might know that Esron is going to war with Blackstone.
It doesn't seem like it's been publicized. Maybe it's more rather a lot of these people maybe knew about the ship taking off, and it's not very often that ships fly in these parts. And so it's possible that many of these people are just watching this fly off for the first time.
Is
Not really
there
sure. You don't remember it being publicized.
Okay.
when we just started lifting off, and as we keep sailing, going higher in the air, is there anything that's like magical that affects on the ground that's like keeping us like on the floor?
There seemed to be some sort of
Or like, are we like there was like a lurch when we kind of like, you know, how you kind of like, if you go up or whatever and then do a quick drop, how you like kind of like lose your balance, so like go in the air for real quick?
right. There
There's
seemed to
this
be like
concept called gravity.
As I'm saying, what's keeping us on the ship right now?
Right now?
What besides like it
Gravity.
it's
well, I
part
know
of-
that, but I'm saying like, but I'm sure we're gonna be doing a lot of this. What's gonna keep us from like dropping like the Tower of Terror and losing our footing?
Oh, sorry. Let me turn on the gravity floors.
It's just part of the magical effect of the ship that kind of keeps you in place.
It's all fun and games until you fall off the edge, and guess who's not gonna feather fall you?
And you just hear a loud whirring, and then your feet just wink, and your just feet connect to the floor.
See, and plus we're trying to make Bass feel better. See, Bass is just magic. Thing is, it'll keep us here.
You do realize though that if you were to fall over the side, there's nothing saving you from that unless you have some sort of ability. There's no gravity that's gonna pick you up and put you back on the ship.
Oh no! Yeah, no, I'm just talking about being on the ship. I want to make sure nobody accidentally just tumbles off.
Yeah,
Like
there
we
are
rock.
railings that do kind of go all the way around the ship, except for where the ballista are that are kind of locked in. But besides that, there's like this railing that kind of keeps you protected from just accidentally tripping and falling out.
Not OSHA certified. Got it.
Can I do a perception check for? I just want to see if there's any dark, ominous clouds off in the distance.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna push my luck. Would you say I have advantage because I've been on ships before?
No, unfortunately not.
Do you
Do you want me to give you the help action?
Looking
You
at
want
the
me to give you the help
weather
action and look?
because you've been on ships before.
Do you want me to help
I mean-
you? By look. What are you looking for?
Looking for storms. Anything dark clouds. I don't want to aim us into something that's gonna cause us to
You just
crash.
hear Rand yell out, "Dragons! Look out for dragons!"
Look out for storms.
I'll help you. If I'll look on on the others like close to you, but like in a different direction to see.
Perception. Ooh. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. Looking out, it seems pretty much clear skies. There are some clouds, but looking off in the direction, you're trying to kind of find where Blackstone is, and you kind of nail down that it's in that area. It's got to be over there somewhere.
Nothing that seems like it could like pass in front of us at all. So we're
Not-
seem pretty clear for
Yeah.
now.
For now, it seems pretty clear. Yeah.
I also forgot that I didn't do that at advantage, but I got a dirty 20, so I think it's fine.
It's all right.
I was like, yeah, I'm not rolling. So I was like, I was just trying to help you, but all
I
right,
know,
that's
I
so
know.
good.
He, as you guys do kind of get into the air, he kind of takes a moment where the captain kind of seems to set the wheel, and then kind of comes down, and probably the closest person to him at that point would probably end up being Corin, maybe. And he kind of looks at you, Corin. All right, how about you get up in the crow's nest and let me know if you see anything flying around. Just got to
Do
keep
you
our
want-
eyes out.
Do you want somebody with excellent vision? My vision is good, but you know what? Sure, I don't mind. I'll start heading up to the crow's nest.
Perfect.
We
And
can all take different turns.
take a moment to climb. He kind of looks for, at this point, Rand and Frederick, and looks at both of you, and is Bass still maybe kind of on the ground holding the mast?
Once the ship becomes like level, he'll for like a couple minutes he'll be like on the mast, and then he'll just kind of slowly let go of the mast, just like kind of sheepishly stand up.
Kind of looks at you. Hey, get on your feet. It's gonna be all right. And he kind of looks at the rest of you. I'm gonna teach you how to use this ballista in the event that anything happens. And he takes you to a nearby ballista, this large piece of wooden machinery that they're currently not cocked with these large bolts that are bundled up on the ground right next to each one. And he looks at the rest of you. Okay, so there's 10 bolts per ballista, and if we need more, we've got some down in the hole. It takes a bit of time to load these, and he kind of goes through the process of showing you. He takes one out, and he says it's pretty heavy, and he puts one in and loads one as kind of to show you. And says, all right, and then you just take it, and there's these handles here in the front, and he kind of shows you the handles, and you should be able to turn just a little bit with it. You got a little bit of wiggle room here, and you're able to fire. He says, I don't think we're going to need to use it, but everybody should know how, just in case. At that point, he asks, is everybody familiar with a ballista? Everybody feel comfortable with it, if you had to use it?
Does it seem like it's just a point, shoot, reload?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah, you do seem there's like a crank to help pull back the actual mechanism.
Not saying that we're ever going to need this, but is the sense here is that shooting's an action, reload would be an action. That'd be the kind of action economy that we would be dealing with in an engagement.
Yeah. So basically, you can choose to use your action or bonus action to load it, but it will always require an action to shoot.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Cool.
he kind of goes around showing you areas that will need to stay clean for work efficiency and things like that. Corin, go ahead and make a perception check as you're up in the crow's nest. You feel the brunt of the wind at its most up here.
Yeah, that's not bad. But the 0, I'll take that. 15.
Yeah, you see a lot of exactly what Frederick got to see is just this looked like an endless horizon, and maybe that's why they called it this ship, but just clouds, occasional birds, and far away a landmass that you can only expect to be your destination.
How far away is the captain?
He's probably 30 feet below you.
I'm gonna cast message. And whisper into his ear. All clear so far, Captain.
He kind of jumps as he's taking you around. Okay. He's definitely thrown off.
Everyone else is just like agency. Okay.
And he continues walking. He begins to show you the hole. He says, okay, some rules here. Don't touch everything in here. There's some things in here that's been boxed up to be just easy to unload. And if you take things apart, you're going to make a mess. Just leave everything how it is. The bottom floor is where we'll sleep. And everything in the middle is kind of the important stuff. There are some barrels for ale and such like that we can drink out of, and some food and things like that. There is an area for us to go and eat and spend some time doing whatever it is. We got a week here, so it's not a whole lot to do on a flying ship, but it is what it is. And he takes you down to the very bottom of the ship where there are only maybe 3 rooms and several beds in each room. I know everybody wants to have their own room, but that's not how it's just not going to work on this ship. So some of you will be sharing, get to know each other. And I guess the Unbroken probably already is pretty familiar with each other, so I'm sure it's not a big problem at all. He says, that's pretty much the ship. Like I said, there's not much to do, so let's just get back up and keep cleaning some stuff and just being on the lookout. And he turns his back and begins to go back up to the top of the ship, and Maines gets back to the wheel of the ship, where he begins to kind of continue to steer. Every once in a while, he'll kind of yell out a command to lower sails, raise sails, tighten the sails, things like that. Trying to keep you guys busy. Is there anything?
I assume there's some times where we're just not doing anything, that
Yeah.
he's not barking orders.
Yeah, there seems to be that this will have some downtime for sure.
I think I'm kind of back where I was before, on the very front of the ship, on that pole that kind of sticks out. I'm kind of sitting on it, cross-legged, and I'm gonna pull out my book on Dwarvish, and I'm gonna study a little bit.
Okay. It's not long after you start studying, he actually kind of yells out, okay, so we got about 6-7 days before we get to our destination. I need somebody to, their job every day for most of the day is to sit in the crow's nest. So how about we just assign days? And he kind of looks at everybody. Verona is also kind of working on some things, tying ropes and the knots and stuff. Who wants to start today and tomorrow, and who wants to do this? We can even do in shifts. I don't care, but somebody's got to be up there, keeping an eye out.
Is Corn still up there?
Now you could be at this point if you wanted to. Probably yeah.
Can I hear him or no?
Yeah, you could probably hear him. So he's probably looking up at you, seeing you up there now.
I'll cast message again. Whatever you need, Captain.
Like, okay, somebody's got to stop. This is weird.
We haven't started. What are we stopping?
What are you talking about?
Never mind. Okay, Corin, looks like you've got the rest of today.
I cast sending. Is everything okay?
We're just gaslighting him.
Oh no.
You can see he's not familiar with this type of magic, and
Damn, you went at 4th level? I just did a cantrip. You in his brain.
We're gonna be here almost a week. Like,
so who would like to take over the next 5-6 days of this trip?
I can take some of the days as you can. I just have a 0 for perception.
I don't.
So.
I don't mind spending time up there. Yeah, I'm good to be up there. I perception. I'm pretty good at.
I can go up there on a couple of those days too, if need be. So
I'm not the most perceptive, but I'll be there if you need me.
I mean, I'm fine with doing it in shifts as well.
Bass, I'm gonna cast message. Bass, let's keep you on the ground.
Where is the ground? Yeah, Bass will say that out loud too.
All right, so
Corin's got it for today. I can take it tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll take it the day after. That works.
Okay, and then
We'll just figure it out after the 3rd day.
We'll just rotate again.
We'll see how it goes. If we're not dead by then, we'll figure it out.
There, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So,
so what are we like? Are we over land? Are we over water?
So right now, you are over a lot of land. You can kind of look over, and you do see, as you're kind of cruising over the sky, you see the land beneath you. You see that probably by nightfall, you'll make your way kind of to the water area. But he doesn't seem to be going just in a straight direction. He is taking kind of a way around. To kind of keep distance probably from going over Blackstone itself. Okay. So he is taking kind of maybe a little detour that you can see, but yeah, you see land beneath the ship right now. Okay, so Corn, you spend the majority of the day up in the crow's nest looking, keeping an eye out. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. At some point in the day, Verona makes her way up to Bass, and she will strike up a conversation. She will look at you. So, you don't seem to be too fond of the boat.
Well, ma'am, the only time I've ever been on a boat, it was about 3 planks, and I was 5 years old, and I almost drowned in a pond, so I'm not very experienced with ships.
Well, what
I can
made-
ride a horse, though.
Oh. Well, it's great. I don't know how that's going to help here, but what exactly made you want to get on this trip? If you're so afraid of airships, why come?
I'll be honest, I didn't realize the ship was fine, but regardless, I didn't know it was I didn't know the ship was there. I just, sometimes you got to do hard things to do the right thing.
Okay, I get that. Okay, well, I just wanted to kind of get to know everybody a little bit better. So, anyway,
What is your name, by the way, ma'am? My name is Bass.
oh, sorry.
Barnabas Jenksy II.
Oh, it's good to meet you. I heard your friends calling you Bass earlier. Is it okay if I call you Bass as well?
Of course.
My name's Verona Synixia, but it's just Verona.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Verona.
Something you do notice about this is, apart from other elves that you may have seen, this one, her face and things about her appearance is just a little bit different. She's got more of a V-shaped. Her skin color is a bit more on the green side, like a lighter green, almost like a pale green. And her eyes almost look clouded, almost like she would be blind, but she doesn't seem blind. Like, she seems like she can see everything. And some of you would have noticed that in the conversations you had with her earlier. She just looks a little different compared to maybe some other elves that you've met in the past.
Okay.
But besides that, she kind of looks at you. Well, yeah, if you need anything, I don't really know a lot about ships, but I read some stuff before we got here, and I talked to Edison quite a bit, and kind of showed me the ropes, I suppose, and well, anyway.
Well, I appreciate it. If you need any heavy lifting, I'm pretty good at that.
Oh, perfect. And she smiles, takes a turn, and goes and works on some ropes somewhere, and kind of ties knots, and kind of keeping her eyes out. It does get to a point where night begins to fall, and as it does, the darkness kind of surrounds you. You see that the ship kind of slows down quite a bit as he's commanding to raise some sails to some of you. Some of you naturally go and work on the sails and pull them to keep them from staying lowered, and you tie them off, and he steps away, kind of looks at some of you. It's not safe flying at night, especially when I can't see what's in front of me, so I'm gonna try and just hover here a little bit for tonight. Lights of the crystals will keep daylight going, or maybe not daylight, but it'll keep the light going on the ship, so if you need to walk up here for any reason, you should be able to see everything. It says, I'll be up and out all night, and some of you want to take a couple shifts just making sure the ship doesn't drift off anywhere it's not supposed to, or anything like that. Just come and take a check. We should be okay in the morning. He kind of
Appreciate it, sir. Sounds good.
approaches Frederick. Since you know kind of what you're doing, I'd love for you to take some time tonight to come up and just spend some time out here making sure we don't drift off.
Yeah, of course. I don't mind it at all.
Perfect. Kind of examines the rest of the crew to make sure, just to see if anybody has any questions. Gives a moment before. Okay, well, I'm going to take a a breakdown in the quarters, and if you need me, I'll be down there. And you watch as he makes his way down the ship through the hole and into the captain's quarters.
Well, this is gonna be a long 7 days. I'm just gonna kind of do a slow walk just around the deck, just kind of keeping an eye.
Okay.
If we're taking shifts at all, I can do first shift, but like he said, I'm probably gonna be coming up, down most of the night, so.
Okay. Would anybody like to take another shift? You technically it'd be the same as sleeping, so you would need 3 to properly get a long rest for each of you.
I can take the third.
Bass would offer to take up one of the ships.
Okay.
Rand's just going to cuddle up against a corner of whatever room that might be sacked in and fall asleep, literally just cradling the bag.
Rand and Corn could share a room together.
Okay. All right. Well, as night does begin to fall, Frederick being the first one, the winds kind of come to a very slow, almost halt. Not really, because you guys are, I mean, you're drifting some, but it's not enough to, like, worry about the ship going in the wrong direction or whatever. You see the stars kind of align the sky, as it's a beautiful night, and you kind of just keep your eyes out, watching for anything. Go ahead and make a perception check. An 8. Everything seems clear. It's dark, and really the only light that you have besides the stars in the sky and the crescent moon are the crystals on the ship themselves that, as you look, are just humming, that fade into just a low hum that you can kind of hear down in the third, I guess in the area where you guys would sleep. You guys can kind of hear that humming. It's not the the ship is by no means the most comfortable place to be.
Like white noise, you know?
Yeah, over time it just kind of fades from you because you're not thinking about it anymore. But you get to a point where you find yourself yawning, and it seems like maybe it's time to let somebody else come up and take over, as you've kept the ship in balance and doesn't seem like anything happens.
I think, yeah, just the entire time, just every once in a while, just kind of correcting the wheel just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'll head down. And who was doing second shift?
Probably Bass, I
Yeah.
think, since Corn took third.
I'll go down and wake Bass up. Hey, your turn for shift. I'm exhausted. So, I didn't see anything clear. So, let us know if anything happens.
Will do. Thank you for getting me up. You rest well.
Okay. Bass, I'll have you make a perception check.
Yeah, since he's a human, Bass will probably cast light on like his shield or something. That way he can, have that up, and he'll just kind of. Since that lasts for like 1 hour, he'll probably cast that like a few times just to keep it up during his time on watch.
Okay.
Just sees a spotlight coming off of the ship.
Basically, yeah. Look at me, lighthouse. I am the lighthouse now. Oh. 5.
So close.
There's a part of you.
The shield was a little blinding.
Bass was afraid to go to the edge, so he didn't really get a good view.
Yeah.
He was making sure the light worked and kind of looked into it a little bit. It's like, shit.
You kind of had a hard time seeing too far out. Part of you doesn't want to look over the edge. Part of you wants to be in the middle of the ship, and you're ready to kind of get your shift over with. You don't tend to notice anything. Everything seems pretty clear from your point of view. Nothing comes to the ship or anything like that. And you get to a point where you also, Bass, feel like it's about time to hand it off to Corin.
I like to think one time he like kind of peers over the edge, like actually looks over the rail and just goes,
That's enough darkness for one day for me.
Yeah, it's pitch dark.
"Hey, he'll go wake up Corn. He'll make sure his light's not on when he comes in, so he doesn't like like bother anyone that's sleeping."
You notice Ran is like cuddled up next to in the corner of the room, sleeping away. As you also see Corin, who's in a bed.
Yeah, he'll gently shake Corn and kind of whisper,
It's your time for shift, Corin. I didn't see nothing. Literally.
Thanks. That was a little close there, buddy.
Sorry if you are.
Get up.
Out.
Let's get out. Rand needs some sleep. He didn't sleep last night.
Of course.
I'm gonna throw the blanket that I had on the bed. I'll throw it over Rand.
Okay. You get up for your shift, and I'll have you make a perception check.
Is the crow's nest? Is there still light visible on that?
You could climb up into it, but there's no light like in the crow's nest, so it would be pretty dark. But it'd be
So
the
if I don't
best-
want, if I don't want disadvantage, that's what I'm trying to figure. Because I'm a human, and I don't have night vision. So
you just
is
be looking
everything
out
just-
in darkness.
I would say is everything just disadvantage no matter where I'm at on the ship, or
I would say under these circumstances, not really disadvantage. Just roll at normal.
okay, even if I go in the crow's nest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go up to the crow's nest then just to try to get a better view.
Okay. Yeah. Normally, looking through the night or the darkness would be a disadvantage, but under the circumstances of being in a sky ship, I'm gonna change it up just a little bit.
I thought that was gonna be a 1.
It was very
It-
close.
Yeah.
It was like stay there and it like fell over.
Corn, you spend your time up in the crow's nest, keeping watch. You don't seem to see much. There's a moment in the night, though, before the light does kind of begin to rise from the sun, that it's probably a couple hours before sunlight rises. In the kind of the direction of Blackstone, it's far, far away, but you just see this red light that kind of seems to be shifting through the sky. It's hard to really see what it is, but you just notice it's red. It seems to look red, and it's in the sky, and it's shifting around in the sky. From the distance, what's up?
Go ahead, sorry.
I
No,
was-
you're good. I was gonna say, is it kind of like a lighthouse where it does is it like a sweep motion, or is it like just blinking in one particular area?
It doesn't seem to be blinking. It could be. It's just really hard to tell with the distance. It doesn't seem to be like lighthousey. It's very inconsistent with its movement. You watch it; it'll go like pretty far left, and then it'll kind of go down, and then it'll kind of come back up. It doesn't seem consistent with its movement. And it's you double check that that's the direction of Blackstone. But from this distance, you have no idea what it is, or at least you aren't able to see what it is. Other than that, there's just this very small red light, about 6 days away. 5.5 days away.
A very long distance. Did we decide? Yeah, oh God. Did we ever find out? We did say the warden from the forge is alive, right? Did we
Yeah.
find out that they came back in the car? Okay. Can I cast sending and send a message?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast sending to the warden.
Okay.
Who's count me out? It's Corn from the Unbroken. Heading to Blackstone. If you want to help, talk to the King of Esseron. How many? Hold on, that's not part of it. Stop. How many do I have left?
It was 20 on my count, so
So I have 5 left.
Pretty close.
We arrive in a week.
Okay. You send? And it seems like it connects. I'm gonna look up sending again really quick.
I can put it in the chat.
Okay.
1 second.
In a like manner immediately. Okay. As it reaches, there are a few words that come like flustered, probably wasted words of his spell, as he seems sleepy. And he just kind of replies, "Good to hear from you, Corin. I hope the Unbroken is doing well." And that's what you get in return.
Okay.
You watch as the sunrise approaches. Corn, you keep your eye on it. Eventually, it stops. It seems like that red light in the sky disappears. Maybe an hour before sunrise, and you awaken, or other people start to awaken. The captain kind of comes up before everybody else, sees you up in the crow's nest, and just kind of gives you a wave.
Message. Morning, Captain.
What'd you say?
I was just saying I cast message cantrip. Morning, Captain. All's clear.
He kind of stops for a minute in his steps, kind of looks around for a moment, and then kind of meets your gaze as you're looking over the crow's nest. Ah, so it was you. Okay. This is morning. Hard to hear him because he's not yelling as usual.
Mhm.
But he kind of gets up and mans the steering wheel and just kind of watches as the sunrise begins to
I'll go ahead
rise.
and climb down and relay what I saw about a sporadic red light in the distance towards Blackstone that was like that was moving in different directions, and it didn't seem to have any rhyme or reason.
Okay. You're telling the captain that?
Hmm.
Okay. Kind of just looks at you. Could have been anything. Who knows what they're doing over there. Just keep our eyes out. Make sure nothing happens with it.
And I'll relay the same message to everybody when I see them.
Okay. As everybody begins to wake up for their day, you all kind of get back to your work duties. Seems like you make a lot of headway on this day, working all day long. Verona kind of keeps to herself. You do find yourself going kind of more north, and then making your way kind of northeast-ish, and then finding your way just over some water on this day. If you were to fall, you'd probably land in the large river that is beneath you. Seems like, again, this day passes without any issue. And for the sake of time, we can go straight into shifts again, unless you guys want to do something else.
How far have we progressed on this day?
Seem like you've made some good headway. You have traveled north quite a ways away from Blackstone to the point where Blackstone is almost south of you.
Ooh, okay.
You
We're
are
going north. Okay.
Would-
Yeah.
Yeah, I
would-
thought we were going south.
yeah,
I
I
was
thought we
assuming
were
south,
going
yeah.
to Ichlodon.
I thought we were going to.
that
yeah.
was kind of the original plan, but the
Ecuador-
ship itself
Lo-
is making its way north.
New plan.
If Leaf notices this, she's definitely going to bring it up to the captain.
You make an insight check.
Insight, my wisdom's low. Oh, why is that still
It's all right.
disadvantage?
Roll an
I'm
18.
sorry.
Yeah, you definitely notice we're not going in the right direction.
Yeah, so she is definitely going to bring it up to the captain and just like, why we're not supposed to be going this direction. Where are we going?
We're gonna go a bit further around, going south to Ichlodon. I was told it was a bit too dangerous. It'd be easier if we go north and then east and then back south.
Why were we not told this plan?
I don't know, but that's what I've been told. That's where we're supposed to be headed. Eventually, the plan is to hopefully land somewhere near Icladon, but really we're just going to find some area out there that we can land in and kind of conceal the ship and unload everything and kind of set up a small little base of sorts.
Who told you about this change of plan?
I was told by the king himself and some of his I don't know, his second hand or whoever that is, and
Say
he's the one that kind of orchestrated this entire movement.
it could be a thing too, where they may have just told us one thing and told the actual people who are driving another thing. That way, in the off chance we say something to somebody, they can't catch us halfway. Because what if the Black Hand knew that we were heading off south to Icladon, and then they caught us halfway, whereas now we're going north, they have no idea.
So with us going north, are we going through, from a mad standpoint, outside above the board talk here, will
Yep.
we be going through the portion that would be the Scorched Lands?
Yeah, you're actually flying over them, kind of in between the large kind of waterway there, just north of Blackstone. You're kind of crossing over some of that water area that moves a little bit more inland. But yeah, you spend a large part of your day going over the Scorched Lands. Or you would be on this day.
Leaf is definitely going to, like, after her talk with the captain, go to Corin and tell him what the captain told her. And just, like, I feel like we need to confirm this information. This doesn't feel right to me. You're the only one that I know that can talk to anyone that's not on this ship.
I can't reach the king. Or the second. I'm pretty sure I tried to send a message to him before my spell was blocked. That's why I had to send the magic paper. Which is why I told you your brother might be still alive, but it could be just that they have their defenses. I can reach out. I'll cast sending to the second.
To the who?
To the right hand man of the king.
Oh, okay.
To the second.
Yeah, you attempt this again. It's blocked again.
Yeah, I can't. I don't. Going to Icladon's super far away from Blackstone. That's my only thing. You'd think we'd be able to get somewhere a little bit closer, but I guess let's just keep an eye on it and just be ready for anything. Seems like it could be on the up and up. I don't know. But I can't. My spell's not going through. I'm sorry, Leaf.
I could be wrong.
I know, we have
Something
trouble trusting
feels-
people.
Do the rest of us kind of put two and two together that we're not going in the right direction?
I'd say there comes a point probably that, yeah, some of you start to notice that you are not heading south. You're heading north. And it took a little bit because of the different landmass. And for some of you, you start to understand, wait, that's the Scorched Lands. That's not right. I'd say in the middle of this day, before it becomes night, before you get on your shifts, that you all begin to notice this.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Scorched Lands in terms of what our characters may know about them? Like, is it...
Legend lore. Okay, guys.
That does not work on this.
As far as you know, and actually Frederick would probably know the most about it. It was said a long time ago that dragons had, when Telestia was partially being formed, that these dragons got into a fight or a war over the lands on who controlled what, and several red dragons came and just started a blaze over that region of the land. It was kind of out of spite to create, whichever dragon at the time it would own that land, that they would struggle because everything was pretty much crisp and burned, and hardly any vegetation can grow there. There's not very many animals and such, but it has created its own desert type region because of it. And the dragons that had done it are long lost. The names doesn't seem, at least to Frederick, wouldn't have been recorded from what he knows. What you guys know is that there were dragons at one time that had scorched it for some sort of land issue, but beyond that, it's hard to know.
So knowing that you said it's more desert-like rather than like an ashland kind of a thing.
Yeah, you'd imagine that at one point it probably was an ashland, but as time went on, it's become more sand and dirt and barren.
Doing my studies of dragons and in my books, would I know, without being metagame or anything, would I know that blue dragons usually reside in deserty areas?
Yeah, you think that there's a chance for sure, but you're uncertain whether there are any in the area. Dragons are quite rare in Telestia, and some of the only ones that's been seen somewhat recently were the ones that you all had seen.
I think Frederick, not making it a worrisome case, but just keeping in the back of his mind that, like, more or less it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. There could be a blue dragon down there. Who knows? Yeah, I think during this entire time traveling over the Scorched Lands, I think Frederick would just be kind of like over the side, staring down and like scribbling notes into another journal. Maybe even adding to the dragon journal that he has and putting in notes about the Scorched Lands. Obviously, he can't see much, but from what he can tell.
Yeah. And at that point, you do realize you're going north, not south.
It was like halfway through like my 6th page of the Scorched Lands. I'm like, hey guys, we're supposed. Oh shit. I'm pretty sure, and like at that point, I'm pretty sure everybody else already knows. I was just so caught up, so it's already like mid-afternoon, and I'm just now figuring that out.
Yeah. Would anybody like to do anything with that new information that you've received?
Captain, I had a question.
Right.
Why is our final destination Iguanodon? Why are we not trying to get? I understand not flying right up to the steps of Blackstone, but shouldn't we try to like either, hide the ship and then make camp closer? Because isn't that from looking from this map, it looks like it's a really far distance from Iguanodon to Blackstone on foot from that point.
Well, to be honest with you, we don't really have a firm plan, but we know that Iguanodon could potentially be the port that Blackstone uses as kind of their side usage, is kind of what I've been told. That there's a good chance that a lot of people who work within Blackstone also work at the port of Iguanodon. So that's why I was told we probably shouldn't head in that direction. Any Blackstone member sees a big flying ship, they're going to start asking questions. And to be frank, looking at all of you, there's a chance that we're going to be seen regardless of the route we take. We're hoping to look like a dragon or some kind of bird, but...
So we're not trying to actually land in Iguanodon?
No, we're planning to land somewhere in between. There's a town called Grest, and it's right to the southeast of Blackstone. We're trying to land in between Iguanodon and Grest, make our way to Iguanodon, see if we can find some... I mean, that's what my plan is. You can do as you wish, but...
No, I just didn't know, because I was looking at the map. It seemed just a far distance, and like you said, if Blackstone members work in this city, I didn't think it would be smart for us to fly. I agree with you. fly, this giant ship in and let them know about our presence.
Yeah, the hope is that maybe some of us can overtake Icklidon if we need to, and then the last city before that is Grest. And if we can maintain control of these small towns temporarily while we make our attack on Blackstone, then this might all work. But there's a lot of pieces that got to get put into play.
Were you given any orders once we get to Grest?
No, I was told that it'd be about 2 weeks before the rest of the shipments and other soldiers arrive, and then they're going to start attacking by ship towards
2 weeks
Blackstone.
after 2 weeks after we land, or 2 weeks, including the week it takes for travel, so 1 week.
So it would be basically 2 weeks after we land. They're expecting us to be there in 7 days. That's when they start sending more of these ships. There are a few more like this one that are meant more for holding people rather than supplies. So those will get sent in the next 5-6 days. We got to get to our destination because they're counting on us to be there. And then after that, we'll stage our attack and see what we can do from there. In the meantime, I may spend some time making my way to Icklidon or Grest, but I'd be very careful. Definitely don't want to get captured or killed.
Yeah, you shouldn't go by yourself. That's crazy.
I do covert ops stuff like this frequently, you could say.
Well, I'm sure there'll be a way for us to help.
Just need to make sure and see really how well occupied these places are by the Black Hand.
I agree. Thank you.
No problem.
When Leaf was like researching Blackstone and everything that's around it, I know in my head she drew a map, like almost like a rough sketch map of like where villages and cities and stuff are on the island.
Yeah.
She's definitely gonna spend a lot of time like restudying this, like trying to figure out where they're gonna be, where they're gonna go.
He also got a map drawn for us.
Yes, don't you have it?
I think I do. Yeah. We should have a map that was drawn for us by the tieflings that were in the caravan on our way back to Esseron.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah, Frederick had asked them if they could draw something out. I don't know how detailed it was, but was it a map of just Blackstone, or was it a map of like Blackstone and then a couple towns around it?
It seemed more of just like Blackstone.
Okay. So that means, yeah, so at least we have a map of Blackstone, but that's what I got.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's just keep an eye out. We're heading to Grest. That makes me feel a little bit better because we're not so far away from Blackstone. Let's keep our heads on swivel. Watch out for that red light thingy at night.
Frederick just first time hearing that looks around. Wait.
I said I told you in the morning. I told everybody.
Oh,
I told
okay,
the
okay,
captain.
okay.
Ooh, an
It's like-
updated map.
Does it say what?
Oh.
They drew us nothing.
I assumed Gress was going to be in between them.
Oh yeah, but I wasn't sure because I didn't even hear that about anything about Grass. I was confused. When I was looking at Icklidon, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, he's at Icklidon
That's
and then on the
super
way to
far.
Blackstone. So I figured it'd be in between. Yeah, that nice little chokehold.
That's closer than I thought too. That's good.
Yeah, it's not the highest quality, is it? But anyway.
No,
Looks nice. I like it.
yeah.
This looks awesome, man.
Look, the tieflings were just drawing it. I was bumping on the cart. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that is
Can we
pretty
get
cool.
that in
Your point unlocked.
the Unbroken chat too, though?
Holiday hoobity wuddy.
The Discord channel.
She was saying, can you drop that
The
in
map
like,
in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you drop the map in there as well?
The update.
Yes.
I'll take if we go through night, I'll take third shift again.
Leaf is going to take a shift tonight.
Okay.
Your turn on the bed tonight, Ran. I'm gonna sleep on the floor.
Are we still over land or are we over water at this point?
You find yourself heading southeast as night begins to fall. You're just over what would be the Misty Deep, or just to the just going over another body of water. You can kind of see Blackstone to the southwest. If you were to head straight for it, you could be there in a day and a half, 2 days at full speed of the ship if you really wanted to. But you're staying above a lot of clouds and such. Every now and then you do get to see the castle, and it is formidable as you look over it. Dark and very black. It seems like there's an ominous. Just when you look at it, you just feel. It just feels ominous. It feels dark and maybe for some of you even kind of scary. As you see, you have no idea what could be in there, who's in there, what's in there. That's where you're going to be in the next 2 to 3 weeks. For some of you, it's kind of a harrowing thought, and for others, maybe it's exciting. But you just see it sitting there as you fly through some more clouds, and it kind of gets out of your view.
Bass will fidget with his flail, and the whole time that we can see the castle, his eyes do not leave the castle until the clouds block it again.
Something you are able to kind of see from this distance, while it is small, is that the castle is formed much like what you would see in like medieval castles. There are 4 pillars that you're able to kind of see, and there is a top, but everything seems to be enclosed. Like you wouldn't be able to see down into the actual castle. There seems to be some sort of almost like stone that has sealed the top of the castle, so you couldn't go in through the top. Other than that, besides castle, you do see there is like this small moat that kind of surrounds the castle, and you'd expect there to be maybe a drawbridge or something upon entering. And as you look further down, you do see what should be the town of Grest, and it seems like it's almost made to be kind of the first line of defense for Blackstone, as it seems to cover a lot of that in between to separate Blackstone on its own little island almost. That's what you're kind of able to pick up from this distance from the sky.
All right, who's taking turns?
I got third.
Ran will take second.
Leaf will take the first.
All right, let's take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back.
Perfect. Cool.
Sweet.
Ready.
All right. So who had first shift?
Leaf, I believe.
Yep.
Okay, Leaf, go ahead and make your perception check for the night, as everybody seems to make their way down to bed. Oh man, my voice has crashed. As everybody makes their way down to bed, would you like to get up in the crow's nest, or just kind of watch from the railing? There's no perception bonus either way.
She'll probably stay on the deck.
Okay. You look out, you again see the beautiful sky that is filled with stars, occasional clouds that block light, and you see the moon. You see some land, some water beneath the ship, but other than that, there seems to be nothing else. Your time comes to a point where it's time for you to wake up the next person. As you begin to yawn a few times, you get tired yourself. You realize, yeah, it's about the end of my shift. You go to wake up. Who was on second?
Ran, I believe.
Ran.
All right. You go to wake up Ran. And you see a Leaf who is waking you.
Everything good? Are we all right?
As far as I know, everything's fine.
It is bright. Let me see if I can fix that.
You're good. I'm just making fun. Just picking.
It's the
Torna's blessings upon you.
Torna's blessing upon you. Let's try this.
Gods.
Yeah, God's Torna's blessings.
Nope. It's just going to amplify what little light there is. Okay.
Look at that. That looks a little bit better. I can actually see your face. Yeah, that's good right there.
Rand's gonna wait for Leaf to go to bed, and then as he's making his way upstairs, he's going to drag the chest and chains that he had stowed away after finding earlier.
Okay.
And I think before our break, we said we're over at this point. We are over water. We're over the deep.
Yep.
Right.
Can I roll stealth? Leaf has been watching Rand this whole time.
Has she?
Yes. Very closely.
Roll stealth. Got to beat his passive.
As a rogue, I think that's possible.
That beats his passive.
Otis.
With a plus 12.
You
I think
are
it barely beats it.
invisible. Rand, I don't think your passive is a 27, so you...
Nope, it's not. It's not.
Unless you get to a
down
point...
that path with everything that I wanted to take for feats, my passive perception is not that high.
you don't notice Leaf watching you as you prepare to do all this. Hey, Magic, welcome to the stream.
So how long's our watch? About 3 hours.
Yeah, give or take 3 to 4 hours.
Rand spends a lot of it just kind of pacing.
Okay.
Do I need to? He's going to be looking out and about. So let me do a perception check. Real quick.
Yeah, I need some. Part of it is I don't know if I'm sick or if it's because I've had some issues lately.
Do I
with
notice anything like
my throat, my
the
mouth?
glowing light in the distance that Corn mentioned the night before or anything like that?
So you still don't see Leaf, but looking out,
no,
you
not even looking for her. Just kind of looking for threats out in the distance in the dark.
you do see off in the distance that red light that Corn had seen before. Again, it's just this time closer. This is definitely some sort of object or being flying. You can see this red light. It's not like overwhelmingly bright, but it is moving across the sky. And it dives down to what looks like almost to the castle, it seems. And it stays down there for a little bit of time before flying back up. And seems to, whatever it is, making its way around the sky. Almost making circles, but the patterns are very inconsistent. You do see that.
Rand's just going to clock that for a while he's walking around. Probably about two-ish hours into his watch. He kind of like steals himself. He looks like he's made a decision and starts walking over to the chest, undoes everything that he had prepared earlier to make sure that the chains wrapped around the lock works and fits. Looks out over the edge one more time. Oh, please let this keep this from happening. And takes off the bag of holding, puts it in the chest, locks the chest, puts the chains around the chest, heaves it up,
Before
Cast it
he
over the
lets
side.
it go.
Just into the darkness.
Okay. Leaf.
Before he lets it go,
What are you doing?
Leaf is gonna like sneak up right behind him, and right before he like gets it up over the edge. What are you doing?
I feel like
You watch as this chest that you seem to have spooked Ran flies over the edge of the boat, falling down into where it becomes dark. You don't see it anymore, but
What are you doing?
I asked you first.
I'm on watch.
You just dumped the bag.
Yep.
Over the edge.
Yep.
You said you didn't want anyone to get a hold of it.
Yep.
And now we don't have it.
Yep.
And the thing in that bag knows who I am, knows who you are, and your brother and Cal.
You are making some valid points at this time. And I understand it is important to you what is happening here. It's gone. We are going to be far away from it. It's in the bag of holding. It is in a chest that is secured, and the goal is it's going to go to the bottom of the deep.
The goal. That doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Ran, what if it gets out?
What if it got out while we were in the middle of fighting a dragon, or going through the depths of Blackstone, or in the middle of trying to save your brother?
Then we could have dealt with it. You just... It knows who we are. And now I don't know where it is. If it knows me, if it knows my name, who says it doesn't know who my brother is, who my mom is?
What would you have me have done? I've put it in
If you didn't want it, I would have
other
taken it.
place that it could have been, the only place in our current travels that would have logically protected all of us. Keeping it out of our reach and out of the reach of others.
You could have let me kill it.
We don't even know if we have the capability to do that.
I made it bleed. It can die. If it can bleed, it can die.
How many feet are we in the air?
you are several thousand feet up in the air. I mean, like, maybe tens of thousands of feet up in the air. It's a big fall. It's a very big drop.
What I have done is done. What else would you have me do?
You could have told somebody before you got rid of it. And she's gonna walk away. But she's not going to sleep. She's staying up all night. She's very not happy.
You're staying up all night?
Yes.
Okay.
Rand's not going to leave the deck. He's going to take the rest of the watches till sunrise.
You're gonna do what?
Take the rest of the watches till sunrise.
Okay. Okay. You spend the rest of Leaf. You spend the rest of your night awake, and you won't suffer from exhaustion immediately. It'll come a little bit later in the day, since you did get kind of a half rest. So you're good now, but and you do get your long. You go ahead and take a long rest. Ran, you stay up for the rest of your time. Were you the third watch or the second? You were the second watch, weren't you?
Second.
So you're not waking up. Who was it?
Corin.
Okay. So you stay up, and Corin, you awaken kind of naturally, thinking, no way, it's time to wake up. Like sunrise. Like, soon you'll find out that it is, and that Ran was awake pretty much throughout the rest of the night. Ran, you won't suffer from a level of exhaustion just yet. You will a little bit later in the day as you exert energy and things like that.
Alert mode immediately. Get up. Realize once I look outside, like once I get up closer to the deck, that it's actually daytime and not like still dark before it breaks dawn. I try to spot Ran.
You can find him
Yeah, I mean, I'm
somewhere on the
literally
deck.
just leaning over the rail, watching
What?
Blackstone.
What?
What?
Who took the third shift?
I did.
Why?
I did something and was confronted about it. Now I'm not sure whether my bright idea was a bright idea, and I really just needed some time to think.
What was the bright idea?
If I tell you, will you promise not to get mad?
With my passive perception of 10. Since he has been carrying this thing like a baby carriage, like a little baby knapsack in front of him. Like he's literally been saying he's getting carried in front of his chest, like where you can blatantly see it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see no bag of holding?
I would say, yeah, you would probably notice that he's not carrying it. Yeah. You would notice he's not carrying it.
It's gonna give a big. I'm gonna give a big sigh, and just stand over there. Put my arms on the railing, lean over. What did you do with it? I know you didn't banish it because we already tried. We already thought about doing that. We figured we couldn't.
He just points over the railing.
Look over. I'm guessing you didn't. It's not actually right there. I'm guessing you did this earlier in the night, so it's probably like way further back.
No.
Somewhere.
We haven't been flying at night, so it's.
I would still guess we moved a little bit. Even if he says we were hovering, I swear we're moving. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm still not used to being on a ship. This kind of ship. There's no. I feel like it's weird if we just actually stayed still. But. What you just
Did
you get rid of? Did you take everything out besides it?
There really wasn't anything else in it.
What about your axe and the other stuff you put in?
It was two weapons and some rope.
Did you take out the rope?
No.
We just lost all of our rope.
Sacrifices were made.
300 feet of rope?
200
feet. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry.
100 feet of rope.
So I'm not mad. But you just
Alan,
unwrapped it.
You're
You just unwrapped the bag of
way
holding,
going through this.
and you just
really-
dropped it.
No. There was a chest and chains and a padlock.
You see Corn like he fiddles with his like fingers for a second. We're like tens of thousands of feet up. Correct.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I'm talking to Rand. This is I got no, you're good. I got good news and I got bad news. What do you want to hear first?
Go ahead.
Which one do you want to hear first?
The bad news.
That chest did not survive.
Yep.
I'm hoping you made it in. It made it into the ocean. Good news is, off chance it decided to come out right at that moment, it also just took a lot of damage. So there's at least a silver lining with that. Did Torna come to you in a dream?
It's not
This sounds like something crazy,
necessarily-
like a god would tell somebody. Like, have you been hearing Frederick talking to himself?
You push too far.
I'm not pushing too far. Did she? I'm being serious. Did she? I've seen people do. I've heard people do things for their gods that they tell them to do. That seems strange. Was this a message from Torna? Was it like, or was this just something you just thought on your own? Like, this is what we need to do. Somebody needs to make an action. Like, do something.
No. It was not.
I gave you two scenarios, which it was not a visage from Torna.
No. It was not a vision from Torna.
So it was just you.
Just me.
Okay. Well, we just. That's a bridge. That's just a bridge we have to go when we come across it. And I'll clasp Rand on his shoulder. I'm with you. You're my brother. I'm not mad. I don't know what else. I understand. I don't know what else we could have done. I thought it was safe still in the bag of holding, but if you didn't feel safe with it, I knew you were going to keep staying up after you didn't spend up the first night out going to sleep.
While
So-
you're saying all of this, Rand just kind of like has like a tremor go through him and like buries his head into your shoulders and just starts sobbing. And just
Awkwardly banishes him for a minute because he doesn't do this. No, I'm just kidding. No. Just I don't do emotion. Goodbye. Just time out corner.
didn't know what else to do. I had to put at the very minimum distance between us and it with everything else that is going on. It knew Leaf's name.
Yeah.
At worst, it becomes a zombie shark.
That's I'm not gonna lie to you, that's not the worst. The worst is somehow Blackstone gets a hold of it. This is to me, this is too close to comfort to Blackstone. I like the idea, I like the concept. I don't like the proximity where you did it at. That's all. That's my concern. I don't know if I don't know if people have the ability to scry on us. I don't know if somebody could have scried on you in the middle of the night and seen you do something like this. I'm hoping not. We're too close to Blackstone right now for my comfort. For anything. I know we're coming here. I just want to make sure we're all prepared. Maybe it will stay at the bottom of the ocean forever. I don't. With our family luck, I don't see that happening. We're gonna have to deal with this one way or another at some point.
Rand kind of like straightens up, wipes his eyes. That'll be a bridge we'll have to cross at that point. For now, that's not something we have to deal with. And I'll have to be okay with that.
If it makes your shoulders lighter for the time being, then I understand. I'm with you. Let's talk to everybody later today when we get a chance to be alone. Tonight, something, and at least let them know. I think it's your turn going to the crow's nest, isn't it, today? If you're too tired, though, I'll take it.
No. The crow's nest is fine.
I'll take it. I got plenty of sleep.
My burden to bear.
No, it isn't.
Rand's gonna start climbing up the mast.
Vanish. Just want to do it so bad.
So Rand starts to climb up into the crow's nest. The rest of you, the day awakens you, and you all kind of get back to your chores, your jobs. It's this day that Verona approaches Leaf. While you may be working on something, the elvish woman that you've yet to really meet kind of walks up to you, and she just kind of looks down to you and says, "Oh, hello. Well, we've been here maybe 2-3 days now, and haven't really caught your name. My name's Verona."
Leaf like sticks her hand out. Hey, I'm Leaf.
She gives you a handshake. So I'm assuming you're with everybody else.
Yeah, they're my friends. We're all together. We've been together. Well, Bass is kind of a friend, but yeah, they're my friends.
He was the one that was scared and holding onto the mast, right?
Yeah, he's new.
Gotcha. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself. I felt like it was proper.
Well, it's really nice to meet you. Your swords.
Oh, yes.
Are you any good with those?
I'm decent. I don't really like to brag, but yeah.
Well, I have this new sword that I'm still kind of getting used to. And I don't really have much of anybody to like spar with and practice with. Would you, if we have any downtime, would you mind maybe helping me a little?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd love to. That would be great. It's way better than walking around on the deck all day.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, gonna be very honest with you. I get a little sick up here sometimes. Like it's just we're very high.
Yeah.
But don't tell any of the guys because they will make fun of me.
Got it. Kind of gives you a puzzled look. Yeah, let's spar sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be so cool. I'm gonna finish this. If you want to find me whenever you're done with your stuff, your duties or chores or whatever we call them on here, and then we can spar.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll come get you in here in just a little bit.
Okay.
And she kind of turns, and you see there's a grin that kind of comes across her face as she turns, and goes back to swabbing some of the deck and taking care of some things.
Does Leaf notice anything weird about her other than like her appearance?
No.
Like,
As far as general posture and the way she talks to you and stuff, it's all of normal elvish culture. But her appearance is the only thing that may kind of throw you off. You haven't seen very many elves that look the way that she does. Very different, but as far as a person, she seems normal.
okay. Leaf will go back and do her stuff.
Okay. Ran, I'll have you make a perception check. Not a disadvantage. Haven't hit that exhaustion yet. Perfect. Does anybody else want to do anything else in the meantime?
I don't think so.
How many days do we have left until we get there? It's like 2 or 3 or something like that.
Yeah, you're on the third day right now. It could be anywhere between 3 to 4, just depending on travel. But yeah.
Can I have Bass roll just a perception to see if he notices anybody that's out of sorts today?
Yeah, are you looking at the crew, the captain, Verona, or just the general?
Just in general.
Okay.
Just in general.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm pulling out dice for using 20. All right, perception.
Because you want to use that new jumbo dice.
Maybe. I use the roll 20s though, so y'all can see it. Ah, God, the rolls.
Probably should have used the jumbo.
A good
I
6.
should have used the jumbo.
You all, or Bass, I mean, and everybody looks great to you. Everybody is enjoying their time visually, and nothing seems off. For the rest of you, Ran, there is a moment that you're looking and you see some objects in the air. They're a ways out, but they are, from this distance, they're small because they're a ways out, but they seem to be in the direction of the city of Blackstone. At this point, you are over water, but they are seemingly kind of in the distance of Blackstone, and the more you look, the more like they become a little bit bigger. As if maybe they are, whatever it is making its way towards you.
I'll immediately call down and point out in the direction of which I see them, so I can get everybody's attention.
Okay. Who do you tell first?
Who is on the deck with me?
As you get on the deck, you probably see Frederick, who is near some of the stairs. The captain is at the wheel. Verona is probably towards the front, kind of by the magic crystal. And I'd say Leaf and Corn are probably... I'd say everybody's probably on the deck just somewhere.
I'm where you left me, on the rail.
I would yell it out loud, rush to the rail, and point off, so that I'm trying to get everybody's attention at once.
Okay. All of
How
you...
many are we able to? Am I able to distinguish the number of things coming this way?
Take a moment and you're trying with your perception. You're counting, and there seem to only be a couple, and then seems like a few of them begin to almost split off, and then there's more. There's still quite a ways out, but you're like, I don't know. There's several. It's hard to know from the distance. They are quite a ways away, but they seem to try to be maybe closing in, whatever it is. And there's multiple of these.
And they're coming from Blackstone. I will get to the bow of the ship and get on the ballista that's at that end.
Okay.
I think Frederick is. Are we heading towards them, or are they kind of coming towards the side of us?
Kind of coming towards the side as you guys are headed south. You seem to be more coming from the side than anything.
Then I'd be running towards that side and getting onto the railing, kind of like crouched down, like Spider-Man style, like hand on the railing, feet up on it as well, just kind of crouched down. And I am dead eyeing whatever is coming towards us after Rand has kind of pointed it out to us. And I'm just sitting there waiting, and I'm going to go back and pull down my mask, which is that dragon style, the one that I showed you guys before, the dragon style mask with the teeth and everything on it. And I am ready to go. I've got one hand tight gripping my weapon.
Okay.
Captain, do you know what this is?
You watch as he kind of goes to the back of the ship and kind of just takes a big long look. And not sure. Large birds or something.
Coming from Blackstone, though, I guess is not a good sign.
Could just be anything. He kind of stands
Insight
there and
check.
watches. Make an insight check.
Roll insight as well.
Yeah, go for it.
It's almost a lot.
Both of you can kind of detect it. He doesn't really know. He's kind of just making a guess.
Is there any? Do we have any? Is there any cloud cover nearby?
There are some clouds, yeah, in the sky. You might be able to kind of guide the ship in to some clouds.
Captain, do you suggest we try to guide ourselves into the clouds and kind of hover, or should we create distance? What should we do?
Kind of looks ahead, and sure enough, there are a large group of clouds ahead. He kind of points forward. Hey, get on some sails. We're gonna head forward into that cloud cover. Just see if
Alright,
maybe we
good.
could lose them.
All right, I want to try to do what he says and do my best on the rigging.
Kind of looks over to Bass and says, "Get the sails on the side of the ship. Pull those in tight." And kind of looks at Corn and kind of yells out some commands to you. Looks at you, Frederick. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. And Rand, you're up there on the ballista. He kind of just yells that out. You can kind of hear it echo across the ship.
I'm
Leaf,
assuming
he's-
that the ballista can swivel.
yes, it can
to
swivel
distance. Okay.
maybe 10 to 20 degrees both ways.
Okay.
Not
Is
much.
Is it functional? Am I able to aim at the people as they're incoming, or am I stuck aiming toward the front? like
As of
that?
now, you're kind of stuck aiming towards the front.
Okay. Well, poop.
He begins, you guys kind of feel as he speeds the ship up, you almost all kind of take a moment to hold on as he takes it and almost tries to takes the ship and just dives into some cloud cover. All around you, it just almost becomes foggy as he tries to pull the ship to a slow drive, trying not to lose pace on the direction that you're supposed to be going. He kind of just waits there for a second. Looking out now, it's impossible to see because of the cover, because of the clouds. They're also limiting your visibility. And he kind of stands there and he kind of shouts out, "Keep your eyes open." And he's just kind of looking around, spending time in the clouds. Doesn't make any calls. He kind of just hovers within the cloud cover. And this goes on for maybe, to you guys, 15 minutes or so pass, 30 minutes pass, still stuck in the clouds.
Do we hear anything?
You just hear the wind that beats against your face. You all wait at the ready for anything.
Do we see any sort of like faint shadows kind of like flying past us, anything like that?
You don't. You wait, and it feels like an eternity when you have no idea what these things were. You hear the captain kind of call out, "All right, crew, what say you?"
So how many people are on the ship right now? There's the 5 of us and then 2 others.
Yeah, Verona and Verona and the captain, Edison.
At the last minute before these things come within any kind of range of us, I'm gonna hold bless to cast at a 2nd level and to bless our everybody else in the group except everybody else in our group, the Unbroken, except for me.
Okay. You're casting that now?
I'm holding it, so I'm gonna wait until until they're within in some kind of range where we're either we escape and I don't do anything. If they don't do anything to us, I don't do anything. But if they come in and it's looking like it's escalating into something, it's getting cast.
Okay. The captain kind of looks to all of you for your thoughts.
I think you have more experience with us than this.
He kind of looks at the rest of you, waiting for any other answers before he moves on.
So what are we were going toward a cloud bank? Are we putting distance in between us and them? Or are
We're in the cloud bank right now. We've been hovering for the past like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's been kind of trying to navigate into the thick of this large cloud cover that you guys are in that's creating this fog. However, it's limiting visibility inside and out. At this point, you guys are looking around. You don't see anything. And you've been waiting for about 30 minutes before the captain asked you all for your opinion.
Is there not trying to be funny, is there rope on the deck?
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah, there's
Ran through it out.
If I look over the railing, can I see a break in the cloud cover below us, or are we just completely, like, as far as I can see from below or above, like we're just completely encapsed in the cloud?
Right now, you are pretty well encapsulated in the cloud. You can't
So even
look
if I-
below, but it's just you're surrounded by fog.
Okay, so I can't see through. It's still fog on the bottom too, below us.
Yeah,
Okay.
he really
That's
dove
cool.
into. What's up?
Sorry, you finish.
I was just gonna say he really dove into these clouds, and is really trying to use it for cover.
Bass will kind of slowly raise a hand and say, like in a low voice, I might have a trick to look. If you can wait a short bit.
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
So, I know the visibility is pretty poor in here. How we're in the thick of the clouds. How tall are the clouds? Just kind of when we were coming at it before we went in.
Best guess is around maybe 60 feet
Okay.
or so, 60 to 100, 60 to maybe 80 feet. It's
Okay.
pretty thick.
Okay. All right. So Bass is going to kind of wave his flail around. You'll notice there's a little ruby kind of in the pommel of it, as he's going to cast Levitate on himself.
Okay.
It is concentration, but for up to 10 minutes, choosing himself, he can raise vertically up to 20 feet. And basically, when he can choose to just keep going up with it, basically. So what I'm thinking is to try and like during the duration of the spell, try and just float up just enough that I can kind of peek out above the cloud just to see if I can spot anything around.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a perception check. As you make your way up.
Not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting this to be the first spell I cast with him. It's kind of cool.
Ooh.
Dirty 20.
So, Bass, you, rest of you who are like waiting for orders, you watch as Bass begins to just kind of float up, and he takes his
it's a bit slow, but he just starts floating up above the ship past the crow's nest and up into the clouds. You guys try to keep your eye on him as much as you can before visibility almost gets lost on him. Even the captain is like watching. He's kind of confused.
Wait, take this rope. I'm
and
trying to throw him a piece of rope so he can hold on to it as far as he can go up.
Dexterity save. You can catch this.
All right. Saving throw?
Yeah.
Okay. That'd be a 10.
As you're taking off, you watch as Corin tosses you rope. So you're just able to catch the end of it before almost losing it. You are able to just hold on. Barely caught that.
Cast message real quick. Maybe tie it around your foot or something in case you start falling. And I'll take the other end. I'll take the other end and try to tie it to somewhere like sturdy on the ship, like the railing or like around one of the masts, like somewhere I can get a good handhold if there's like a hook.
Okay.
I would assume that just Corin with his Arcana would know that if I was levitating, that usually that stuff those spells kind of bring you back down and they don't just like drop you.
I'm homeschooled, so if I feel like I was thinking if you just get dropped, lose concentration, you're done.
Oh,
Like,
I see what you mean.
That's what I'm worried about. Yeah.
That makes more sense. Yeah. No, that's totally fair. Yeah. No, Bass will kind of try and tie it around like his shield arm.
Okay. You tie it real quickly as you continue to levitate. You begin to levitate up, and as you do, you begin to hear almost this separation of increased wind that you can hear before breaking through the clouds. You then hear the sound of almost like it almost sounds like an eagle of sorts that cries out not too far from you. The rest of you on the boat actually hear that, the eagle. You peek your head up through the clouds to see that there are some large beasts that have effectively surrounded your ship, but are just outside of the clouds. Quickly looking, you see what looks like the smaller form of a dragon. Not a dragon, but to you, Bass, wyverns that you notice. Griffins, and there seem to be people on them. And as you just pick your head up, they don't seem to notice you because of them hovering, but it seems like they've spotted you and they're waiting for... They're not going in. They're all kind of just hovering around, and they're up out of the clouds, and it seems like, from your best guess, is that they're waiting for you to emerge from the clouds.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, Bass will start to float back down. And once Bass gets back down, still in a low voice, he'll just kind of tell Captain and everyone else around. It looks like we're surrounded. Wyverns and griffins. Griffin riders too.
The captain kind of looks at you with a very serious look. Okay.
They're just waiting for us to exit the cloud.
Now, were they like surrounding like the outside, like the
Yes.
sides of the cloud?
How many did you see?
Probably saw 6 different couldn't put an exact number on the wyverns and the griffins, but 6 flying beasts in general.
I'd say roughly 6, give or take.
Captain, this is probably gonna sound like a stupid idea. What if what Bass says, there's wyverns and griffins surrounding the cloud? What if we were to just drop? Not into the water, but just drop through the bottom of the cloud and then continue forward. We might catch them off guard and at least get, I don't know, get ahead of them a little bit. That way we're not just straight up running into them. We'd have to tie ourselves down or something. I'd imagine that's not going to be a smooth ride.
I would put a lot of strain on the ship. It's a possibility for sure. I don't know what damage that could cause. But it is a good idea. Better than just sitting around waiting them out. We don't have time for that. Kind of looks amongst the rest of you. Any others?
The only other thing we could do would be to wait them out. I mean, they are living creatures; they can't fly forever. But that could take a while.
If they're coming
losing
from
a lot of time.
Blackstone, if they're coming from Blackstone, I'd imagine they could even send more or something bigger. So even if we were to wait them out, we could be sitting here forever.
If you get me within 30 feet of them, I can blind 5 people. Worst case, we preemptive strike. I blind as many as we can, and then we haul ass somewhere. If Frederick's plan doesn't work,
If we leave them alive, they will report back.
Captain speaks up. This cloud cover won't last forever either.
If Corin can blind some of them, I have a little trick to blind at least 1 or 2 others.
Okay. Y'all are gonna
Need-
blind them. And
It's
then what?
Blackstone. We need to fight.
regardless, Blackstone is going to know something happened.
Would we rather them know that their riders are gone, or them know who's coming?
They don't have to know that you all are here. Remember, this is a ship that's not been seen anywhere else before. We can convince maybe one of them or all of them that this is just a test of new technology. Maybe they'll leave us alone.
It's Blackstone, they'll never leave us alone.
We'll hide you in the hole, keep you out of sight, and maybe let me handle the talking.
Insight check.
Go for it.
I don't like. I just don't.
I
don't,
also,
I don't
yeah.
trust
Yeah,
this
go for
guy.
it.
And my only issue with that is them finding it a little odd that there's only 2 people on the ship running the ship if we're hiding down. Like, they're going to be
This
expecting
week
where's
was
the crew.
17, but it says I rolled a 13.
Yeah, you rolled an 8 plus 5.
8 plus 5.
The dice that I have on my screen says 17.
Oh, that's weird.
On my screen, you have an 11 up. So that's a 16, I guess, for me, because I don't know.
Is it a purple die? Because
die.
mine is purple.
Yeah, mine was purple. Was yours purple or pink, whatever?
That's mine. That's
Oh,
mine.
yours? Okay.
His would be like light blue.
It might. I don't know.
How about hold
Yeah.
on?
The Black
Roll-
Hand doesn't know I'm involved. I could also help. Stay aboard.
looking into
Fran-
the insight real quick. He
Yeah.
just seems like he's throwing out ideas. You can see he's really thinking about what he said as maybe an idea, but you're not detecting any ill malice.
Fran, give me your disguise self.
Hey, Neo, thank you for the
I want to
follow.
look like Cephas.
Okay.
Does that change your clothing too, or just your?
I think I can alter. That's what I need to look up.
Yeah. Throw it in the chat.
I
for
can,
me.
yeah, I can include my clothing, armor, weapons. So I want to try
Oh.
to make myself. I'm look as much as Cephas before, and if with more of the garb of like if we've seen any Blackstone people like from the raid of the city before, and more that kind of look,
Okay.
like him wearing some of that. I kind of look at everybody. I can stay up top. If Cephas is, if he might be a semi-important figure, could talk our way out of it. This is new technology to be tested and trusted. Sorry to throw this face on randomly without warning. Kind of in a bind.
I don't even know who you are.
Perfect.
Yeah, for some of you, it's a bit of a trigger.
I think he looks kind of like a nice dude. I'm just saying.
For two of us.
I feel like Frederick's kind of getting glares from some people.
What do we think?
Cephas is one of their leaders. They will
Which-
recognize him. What if he was the one that sent them?
It's a risk we might have to take. And if not, we fight.
I vote we just fight.
We give them a chance to be peaceful. If they're not, we fight.
I'll stay up here. Do you guys want to go down in the hold, or do you guys want to stay up?
I will go up in the crow's nest. I'm gonna hide
Bass, they
there.
don't know Bass and Frederick as far as we know.
It is very true. I'm still gonna just hide up in the crow's nest.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
That's gonna suck.
I'll be like your trainee.
Ooh.
That was almost a 2.
Yeah, you hide very well in the crow's nest.
I almost look like a seagull.
Hmm.
Lee, Fran, you two go down to the right below deck. Don't go further than that.
I'm
We'll
not
see if we-
leaving you up here alone.
I'm not alone. I have the captain. I have Bass. I have Frederick.
Verona
It's
also
a- it's a-
mentions
And so, Verona,
she speaks up. I can stay up here as well, just in case.
it's a
Yeah.
5-man crew. We're missing 2 people. It's not implausible that you could run a ship like this now. We'll yell if things go awry, and y'all come up, and we'll do our best. We gotta do something.
Man will stalk off to the door that leads down, but literally just he's maybe goes a step down.
That's fine. Yeah, we just got to do something. Leave, hide, or go.
She'll
There's that barrel.
go.
Look, there's a barrel. Do you want to try to get in it? Is it empty?
You can find
I
some empty
don't
barrels.
trust people I don't know. Yeah, she'll hide. I guess not very far away from them, like as close to them as she can possibly be, but like, hidden.
Okay. Can also roll stealth for hiding.
I also ask, how high up is the crow's nest?
Crow's nest is roughly, I think, 30 feet high.
30 feet. And then how does damage work as far as fall damage?
I believe for every 10 feet you fall, it is a D6
Ah, I'll be
bludgeoning.
fine. I'll be fine.
D6 or D8. One of those.
If you fall, yell.
I'm a monk. I have slow fall.
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know. I didn't know if you had that yet or not.
It's D6 for fall
Yeah,
damage.
that's a fourth level for monk. I can as a reaction choose to use slow fall, and it's like 5 times my monk level is how much damage is reducted from
Hey, thank you for the
whatever I
follow,
take
Axel.
as far as fall damage. And if it's only a d6 every 10, I'm fine because I can get rid of at least 45.
Hey, we're having a good time, Axel. We're playing D&D. My voice is a
That's
little off
max of
today.
18.
Also,
It's a
the
little
Dragon
sore.
Fang short sword that I have currently now looks like
We're having fun.
it looks like whatever weapon that Cephas had. So I have
Okay.
that equipped. I have that on me as if you know. I can't remember off the top of my head if it's to the side or on his back, but I'm trying to look as much like Cephas as possible.
Yeah, you remember oftentimes Cephas would wear the Shatter Spike blade that he would wield on his back. And along with another weapon and a shield. You remember he would often be in armor, like chainmail, things like that. And yeah, he
Yeah.
kept himself to look almost noble-ish.
Right.
So,
I'll do without the shield, but just still have like Shatter Spike on my back.
okay.
And like I said, in more of that Blackstone garb.
Okay.
All right, Captain.
Kind of looks amongst you. So, should we drop? Should we just wait for the cloud cover to disappear? I mean, you want me to fly it out?
Tentatively fly us out.
Okay. You watch as he kind of rears himself up, kind of shrugs the shoulders a couple times, kind of turns his head a couple times like he's cracking his neck, kind of takes the wheel and kind of pushes it forward, and as he does, you guys all begin to feel the ship propel itself forward some.
Oh God, what does Cephas sound like? I forgot.
As you propel yourself forward, for those who remember Cephas, you see this disguised image of him. This is a man who looks good on pen and paper, nice little beard, a little bit bigger in weight, but not too much. He talked kind of silently. He wasn't a big talker. He often found himself to go drink. He, other than that, you would typically see this noble garb that he would wear up until the arena, where his garb wasn't much different. Rather, he kept on some black clothing and such.
Mm-hmm.
This is the character you would see in Korn's place now. As you all exit through the clouds, you kind of feel this burst of separating through the clouds. And beyond you, as if you were being followed, you all see wyverns and griffins that have surrounded the ship. Should be able to see this now on roll 20.
Leaf definitely has like a dagger in each hand. She's like making sure she has one in each boot. Like she is knifed up, ready to go.
Got it. Oh no, all of my stuff is not ready.
I'll say Frederick is just up in the nest. I'm like eyes kind of just above the little railing, and I've got my rope dart ready as well.
All right. I am just fixing the maps. For some reason, they did not auto-load. I'm doing that really quick on the stream. There we go. Perfect.
Am I allowed to move my character, or do you want me to stay here for now?
Yeah, go ahead and put them where you think you would have been. Rand, I've got you in the hole, just right where this hatch is, essentially.
Okay.
You're just in there.
Perfect. Thank you.
If as we were going up, if I'm allowed to, I'll make my way up to here as we were coming out of the clouds. If it's possible. If not, no worries.
Okay. All right. Yeah, all the arrows coming out. Perfect. Everything looks great. Okay. As you look, you immediately see wyverns. You see griffins, and there are riders. And they have surrounded what look like the airship. And as you emerge, the captain's looking around. He sees them as well. He tries to maintain his course and try not to get too nervous. As the riders, the flyers, they kind of stay with the ship. None of them seem to really get too close. You wait just a few moments before some of them do begin to kind of fly in closer. Kind of maintaining their surrounding that they've got on you as the ship is flying. You guys still kind of hold your ground.
Mm-hmm.
Leaf, you're hiding like right in here.
I'm waiting to see if the captain's going to say anything first.
You watch as he just kind of continues to drive the airship. He's kind of looking to his left and his right as the creatures that are flying are moving in. It's hard to see who's on the riders themselves, but you can see that there are individuals flying. You watch as this one in the back kind of begins to fly very close to the ship, just hovering above the ship and the back. You can see the captain is watching him. Doesn't have any weapons out. He's holding onto these reins onto this large griffin. And he kind of looks over. Leaf, you're hiding in a barrel right here. And the rider jumps off. And he kind of makes some sort of whistle command. And as he does, the griffin flies higher up into the sky. But kind of maintaining its spot there. Frederick, are you peeking out at all, or are you just kind of hiding down in the crow's nest?
I'm definitely peeking out, kind of keeping an eye, especially if I see one moving towards us. So I think I'd be keeping my eye on the one that's on the deck already.
Okay.
For where am I? Can I see that he hopped off or no? I don't know if the master and the sails are in the way.
The sails are, I'd say, probably at half sail. Looking back, you can see that somebody had jumped off and has landed on the back here. And that the griffin is kind of flying up in the air. You see there is this individual down that kind of flies in close.
I'm going to move over there for this turn.
Okay. You see these large wyvern-like wings that are just flying, beating against the air. You see this individual who begins to walk towards the captain. No weapons out. But as he walks, you see Ferona's kind of like sweeping the deck. But Corin, as you look, that individual that walks is, in stature and appearance, there's a familiar look about him. As you watch as he kind of...
Who is it? It's not Cephas, is it? Please don't tell me it's Cephas.
He walks up and you sees that apparently he begins to have a conversation with the captain that only Leaf would be able to hear.
I'm going to try to get closer.
As you start to walk closer, keeping an eye looking at this individual, you see that this individual, his back is towards you and it looks like he's wearing some type of armor. Just the way it looks is a little bit different. He begins to have a conversation with the captain from where he's at now. Leaf, you hear some of this, and you immediately, from what you hear first, you hear What is this vessel, and who are you with? You hear the captain respond. My name is Captain Edison Newman of the Endless Horizon, and we're just here testing this new invention that we've made. And you hear the voice respond. And where has this invention come from? He responds. Many of our architects and builders worked very hard in Esseron to create this, and we were just testing the limits of its capabilities and the distance at which it can fly. We can tell we've worked very hard on it. And it's at this point he turns to kind of look at some of the crew. Frederick, you even look down, you can see this individual.
As he turns around, I want to kind of drop to a knee and I pretend I'm buckling a greave or something like that, just as kind of hide my face right now. Because if this person sounds familiar or looks familiar, I don't want him to see my face yet. Okay. If I'm able to.
Does Leaf recognize his voice at all?
No, it sounds humanoid, and it sounds very very bold and very forward and just very noble almost. It's not recognizable. But as he turns his head back, and Frederick, you're able to see this, and I believe Corin, Bass, and Verona, you see the face of this individual is not humanoid. It's mechanical. It looks very similar to the face of Steven. However, it's not Steven. There's no large tail that you remember, Corin. But there are a lot of similarities.
Is it?
But it doesn't sound like Steven.
It doesn't sound like Steven. It doesn't look like Steven. But there are similarities. And you remember very clearly Steven was constructed. This being looks very much similar to that mechanically constructed design of Steven. As he looks back, you see these green glow in his eyes. This mechanical moving mouth that seems to give off a more humanoid sound than what it should. And he kind of looks back. There's neck is comprised of just mechanics that come down to his body that is mechanics. And probably guarded by a metal plate, seemingly. As he looks back towards the captain to continue his conversation. So, a ship this size only needs this much of a crew. Captain responds, well, it's not that hard to pilot. It's much simpler, really, than a normal ship. May I ask, why the sudden need for questions and boarding? And he responds, well, we haven't seen anything like this, and we'd love to learn more about it ourselves. And he says, we're going to commandeer this vessel, if you don't mind. And the captain kind of responds, Leaf, you hear this. The captain responds, well, I don't think we can really do that. See, we don't even know if we have enough fuel to get back to Esseron, so we really don't have time to make it to Blackstone or anywhere else. And you hear another response. Oh, it wasn't a question. No, we're going to take the ship from you. And it's going to be ours. At which point, you watch as a blade comes from the arm of... He kind of just lifts his arm, and out from the arm, a blade forms. And you see a bladed arm. And...
Leaf throws a dagger.
Okay. Leaf throws a dagger. And that's where we're going to end off our episode.
thought it was fucking Cephas. I was like, of course, my brilliant idea, and it's gonna be the first person we meet. It's fucking Cephas.
No, I knew straight from the start that this was gonna be some sort of designed. I don't remember what they're called, but something like Steven.
Another creation,
Yeah.
another construct.
Dun dun dun.
Warforged.
That's
Basically.
what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I was thinking this whole time that like, I've been waiting to see some other Warforged creation that we're gonna see, like a bunch of soldiers or an army of just these Warforged.
We'll watch them bleed next time.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I just realized the end of the session. You know what happened?
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I should
That's
have
what he
made
just
that
did.
joke. I should have done that.
Look at
I didn't think of it until just now.
Yeah, there's more like Steven. Even his designs that has been incorporated into these Warforged.
Weren't there other ones that were built kind of like him that were in the basement that he was from?
There were failed subjects there that, with several blueprints and things, but he was the only one that, at that time, or at least known of, that he was the only one that was of his kind.
So I think it was more or less like the ones we saw were under control, or like they didn't have a soul, they didn't have a mind of their own. It was they would take commands, follow those commands, and that was it. Whereas Steven, or these guys, could talk out of free will and act out of free will as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have some ideas that I want to test.
I'm so excited to, I was so excited to use my weapon.
If we had a little more time, we could get into the combat, but
Yeah. It's been. Yeah, I get it. You said they're around like our size, right? They're not like a large creature.
they're humanoid in size, but
They're tough.
outside
Just make
sure-
exterior, they look kind of scary. They look
Yeah.
very well protected.
Yeah.
You have to use what you've learned from Steven to fight against these guys.
Not like 12 feet tall or anything, right?
Not quite.
That's
At
why I
least
want to make
this
sure.
one
Yeah,
isn't.
they're
Not
around
this
like
time.
no behemoths.
I do know Steven was 8 foot tall. He was big.
Mhm.
He wasn't no little.
Yeah, this guy seems to be a
Little
solid
toy.
6 foot. And he very much lifted his hand, and the sword functioned out of his arm, much like Steven.
I was happy to see that.
Mm,
Yeah, I've been waiting to see the future Warforged for a while.
yeah.
I'm waiting to see Steven show up. I want to see him so bad.
He'd be terrifying.
Well, because either he's going to be this, how he was, maybe a little bit bigger or beefier, I don't know, or he's going to be a full-on robot dragon. That's what I'm expecting. Because we all saw what was outside of that city when we were in the caravan. We all saw that.
We'll have to find out. We'll have to get to Blackstone.
Very exciting.
Very cool. What do you guys? You guys have time? We can chat about it, or if you guys need to go to sleep, it's totally cool. Everybody's good to go.
No, I'm chill.
Love to hear some theories or some ideas. What you guys thought of the session? What do you think's coming? Things like that.
Combat is coming next session,
Yeah.
I was ready to be betrayed by the captain. Just a lot of stuff's not.
and
panning
we
out.
just can't trust people.
Yeah.
But we're going in the completely opposite direction of where we initially intended to. So
To be fair, from the get-go, the darn sponsors of this trip have been kind of, playing games with us. Where
Mhm.
they blamed us for the arena stuff, right? And then they're like, oh, but if you do the thing for us, then we'll help you out again.
Yeah.
Like, they've been playing this misinformation game with us the whole time.
I guess we'll see what ends up happening. I don't
Yeah.
know.
So this is gonna be a tough battle.
Yeah. The crystal of Crexius is no longer within your
yeah,
possession.
not our problem anymore.
Hey, campaign 2.
Fuck
all
you,
I'm saying,
Celestia.
campaign 2, we're gonna be fighting a clownfish lich.
It's gonna be like the the ring of Sauron, and
Yeah.
unlikely
Oh,
figure is
no.
gonna come and pick it up one day.
The new
Oh,
Smeagol.
I'm just waiting for there to be like a zombie island that we hear stories of.
The Pirates Cove gets turned into.
Yeah, the pirate ships get lost. They
Well-
speak of undead and things like that, and we got to go on a holy crusade.
Well, me and Drazane were sitting there in the chat talking about a dragon turtle.
Undead
Can you
dragon
imagine
turtle
a
with an island on its
dragon
back
turtle?
of undead?
Just these wrecked ships all across its back, and it's like this skeletal undead dragon turtle.
In other
Insane.
words, Leaf hates Rand now, so that's. She will remember this.
She doesn't hate you.
doesn't
She's just
hate him.
disappointed.
Her relationship meter went down by 1.
It's not.
Leaf
Yes.
will remember
It's
that.
not.
Yeah,
Remember
Leaf just
that.
like that. Will fall out. Yeah.
It's not anger or disappointment. She is terrified,
Gerd.
and she has no access to this thing now. She was waiting for Rand to go to sleep so she could steal it.
The thought process there is
Can't tempt corn anymore.
It's in the middle of the ocean. It is away from Leaf, and it's away from Corin. And
away from land.
minimum, he's trying to provide time for them to deal with what's in front of them, to get stronger, to get resources, and it's firmly a bridge in the future to cross. Whatever consequences come with it.
You know, you just do a little divine intervention later. It'll be fine. Figure it out. Hey, how's that larva
Hey, that
doing
makes a
over
bunch
there?
of
Torna?
undead. Just put Bass in front of you guys and say, use all your smites. Have fun.
I'm waiting for like a post-credit scene. We just see Steven over the chest that is washed up on the beach, or like over the bag of holding that's been washed up the beach, and he just.
I was like,
picks
there's
it
no way
up.
that chest survived. That chest is fucking.
No,
Yeah,
that chest is gone. But hey,
you
at least the
take
bag
into
of holding might be okay.
Take into consideration terminal velocity. The thought
Mhm.
process there, I think, is that both were pretty well damaged upon impact, meaning
It's in the astral sea, hopefully.
It's
But
also-
that's a whole other fucking can of worms.
It's
In
also
theory, it
just
could
a
have sunk to
bag.
the bottom though if the ocean was moving.
Yeah, it's
The
also.
water broke up.
I think it's also just a bag.
Yeah.
That doesn't have weight. So while the chest may be absolutely destroyed, the bag may be okay. But the only people that can get into a bag of holding are the people that
But-
know what's inside. So
Well, that's
But-
why I said Steven could easily do that because he knows.
Anything-
true.
It's assuming he
Anything
knows
can
it's
go-
their bag.
Anything
though.
can go into
how
a bag
you
of holding,
giving him
correct?
More story problems.
Anything can
I
go
was
in.
just
Anything.
saying.
Anything can go into a bag of holding, correct?
Certain
That
size.
fits.
There are some certain
I was
size.
saying,
limits.
like, there's no
Yeah.
requirement, right? Like, if I
Typically,
like, you
no.
just. So, and you said a bag of holding, like, if it gets overloaded, it bursts, right?
Right.
Can it get
I'm pretty sure that.
overloaded? I don't know if it can.
Oh.
I think.
Does
it's-
it have a weight
I
limit?
think it's an endless void. I'll double check. I could be wrong. Oh, it can hold up to 500 pounds.
My
it has a
thinking,
limit.
right now, is if it did survive, and it just keeps taking on ocean water and ocean water and ocean water, there's no way that bag survives. Then
Oh,
at some point, it's going to reach.
I am wrong
if it-
too.
if it-
The bag weighs 15 pounds.
Oh shit!
Well, yeah, I think even if the bag had no weight, it's inside of the chest. It's not strapped down or anything, so it's gonna,
Yeah.
go all over the
Yeah.
place.
But I'm saying, like, if water can get into it, it's just floating and it opens up in the water. Like, it's just gonna. Right?
I say the
Not
DM should
exactly.
roll.
Not okay. That's why I was curious. That's why I didn't know. That's why I was asking. Yeah, I
With
wasn't
the
sure if like
scenarios,
Yeah, just
you
starts.
assign a
yeah.
number to them,
Leave it up to him.
And
As
then let
I-
fate decide.
Yeah, I would say let the DM just roll a d20, have a really high DC, and who knows, it could survive. We will never know about it until it's too late.
At the end of the campaign one, there's like this credit scene that's amazing. It's like the
Mhm.
Avengers one, you know, and then
Yeah.
at the very end, like it'd
Fine.
be like the Spider-Man movie No Way Home. And has everybody seen this? I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Yeah, you're
hmm hmm
Everybody's seen the
Yep,
post-credit
yeah.
scene, you know?
Yeah, with the beach. Yeah.
when Venom shows up, or there's a little piece of Venom left.
Yep.
It would be like that. It's like, oh crap, we're gonna have to come back for the next movie, next campaign.
Mm-mm.
I almost wanted to see what the larva was gonna hatch into, because I know it said that it could infect somebody, but I want to see what monstrosity it was going to hatch into, because that'd be
Yeah, I
quite
had
interesting.
some really cool plans for that, and then it got thrown overseas. So
Yeah, thanks, Ran.
But that
Hey,
was
zombie shark.
I was always waiting for somebody to get rid of it. So
Right.
But hey, we all gave you some pretty good ideas to do with it now. You
I'm-
could
I'm
literally
got a
have
list.
anything happen.
I mean, get rid of it in my chest was going to be
not
is an
gonna
option.
lie,
Oh my
as
God.
Part of getting rid of it now,
I could control the
totally took into
power.
consideration that it comes back, and there's basically like a zombie island or a Naxxramas that we have to
Hmm.
go quest to and resolve this thing that's hanging out there.
I feel like this is going to be a campaign 2 scenario where like we're all different characters, and it's going to end up being something where we have to find the Unbroken and ask them, what the fuck did you do? Because now there's a whole ass, undead zombie army roaming across the entire continent because of you
Lauren's
guys.
walking in front of them all.
I got it. A one shot. This is since the Tales of Telestia, there's a multiverse, right? We said
yeah,
a one shot. It's 300 years later. The followers, the paladins and clerics of Torna, track down the last member of the Unbroken, a lich who lives on his own, and he gets asked what happened 300 years ago, and Corrin has to tell the story of his brother from his not thoughtless, but I'm trying to think of the word, his
Emotionless.
offhanded reaction of just tossing it over, and it ended up turning it into this big thing, and then they have to go into the island and smite whatever is on there with their holy powers of Torna.
No,
Some fucking-
we are playing out the story that Corrin is currently telling right now. Whoa!
that's crazy.
I do want to, and I'll get I didn't want to know anything ahead of time, but I did want to make like a fanfic thing of like about the thing of Crexius, and like put it into like the Unbroken general chat and like a document, like a short story, and like write about it. So like I was going to either just take my interpretation of what the Crexius or was going to do, or I was going to say if we were not going to use it anymore, if you wanted to tell me some of the stuff about it, because I think that would be really cool to see. And if anybody, I'm sure, wants to write something like other stuff too, I'm sure everyone would enjoy reading people's thoughts on like what things that could have happened.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to hear these theories and what other people think.
Misguided, thank you, Kyle.
What other people think it really could be. I think it's awesome. I really want this world to feel like it's alive, and so
Yeah, it's great. Like,
I know I'm probably giving Nat 20 more ideas.
love it.
It's my main flaw. No, I just was thinking about it. If Steven were to happen upon the Orb of Craxius, he's, in my mind, what I imagined it, he's just a soul that's been kind of trapped inside this robotic body. He could very easily possibly use the Orb of Craxius and put his soul into now an actual dead dragon's body and become a Draco Lich. That could be kind of cool. I'm just saying. No, I thing I wanted to bring up too is I kind of like the opposites between my Frederick and Steven, because I feel like Steven was very much on the side of, he was fascinated with dragons on their rage and their ferocious side, their dominant side, whereas Frederick is more on the elegance, the honor, the respected strength.
Right.
Whereas, like I said, Steven is just the anger and the ferocity of them. Like, I like the two sides that are gonna now have to fight each other.
Very interesting.
Lots of things gonna happen.
Yeah.
So much to come. All right, y'all. Well, I guess we'll tentatively try to meet March 4th, which is in 2 weeks.
Yep. Sounds good.
Cool.
Should work. Hopefully.
I just want to double look at the calendar. I will not be available March 17th.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Got it.
So not next session, the session after that.
Or, yeah, March 3rd. Sorry.
We know what you meant.
Okay.
Cool.
Same ballpark.
All
All right,
right.
guys.
Well, thank you guys so much again.
Yep.
Good luck.
Peace
Have
out,
fun.
everybody.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Get some
All right.
sleep.
Good night,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Don't get any dreams from Crexius.
Oh no.